right, y'all. Shabbat Shalom, family.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to the worldwide family. Peaceful Sabbath day as we prepare for the Feast of First Fruit, Shavuot. Y'all know how we do. We turn toward Holy Jerusalem. Men are to uncover their head, women are to cover their head when praying or prophesying within the assembly. Y'all want to hold our hands up high. We want the Most High to lift us up today with His mighty word. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer. And it is with the Most High's permission. And it is in the name of His only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer, Yahushua HaMashiach. And we know Him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Yes. Long may the King. Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 23rd chapter, it reads, "The Lord is my shepherd,
Yes,
I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for Thou art with me. Thy rod and Thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemy. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Most High forever. Hallelujah!
Well, y'all put the Jericho effect on that, didn't you?
All praise to the
Shabbat Shalom again to the worldwide family. Shouts out to our family both near and far.
That's why.
Want to ask for continued blessings and recovery to and prayer for our sick and shut in. Me in particular, my baby girl, they may have to induce her labor. So she's in the hospital right now. She's cool, you know, but they're just saying, you know, they want to mess with her pressure a little bit. Her in the household of my son-in-law, D'Angelo, y'all know him as Yehuda. He actually did do a little boxing, y'all. He was scrapping last night.
He got
down, yeah, he did. Got third round TKO. Yeah, he handling some business, yeah.
That's what's up.
I'm saying, wait a minute.
Yeah, he did some serious body work up in there.
Yeah, I want to send out condolences, man, to the Hips family.
Yes, sir.
Just found out one of my partners from high school, Marvin D. Hips, gave up the ghost last weekend. And see, that's another thing that kind of makes us look at our own mortality.
Yes, sir.
Because that brother was my age.
That's right.
It was a major gut punch when I read that.
Yeah, I didn't know till Zeb told me today. So I'm kind of still, you know, getting over. I ain't even getting over it. I'm still processing it.
Less than an hour ago.
Yeah.
I've been knowing a week.
And I'm just fine. I mean, me and this dude, his last name began with an H, and mine did too. Like I was telling them, when they lined us up all the way from junior high through high school in alphabetical order, it was Marvin and then me. And it was like, man.
Well, you know, he was family with me by marriage previously, so I've been knowing him since he was able to walk in front of company in his draw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Tony Prim, younger brother.
Which one?
Marvin. Yeah.
Me and him got the same namesake and was in school together, so that gave us a connection. Marvin and Marvin.
I got a call from the great Gabriel.
Oh, boy. Y'all, time is flying by, y'all. That's why it's so important that we deal with today's topic, the Feast of Weeks, or Shavuot, most know it as Pentecost. Because, y'all, we got to present ourselves as first fruit to the Most High.
That's right.
We ain't got no farms. We ain't got no crops that some people are still planting and growing on farms if they may have them, but without understanding that the Messiah takes the place of every feast day. He's the intercessor for every feast day. For what you can't get a hold of or get added to your first fruit, so to speak, he covers that gap for us in every section of this scripture. Whatever they were doing under the priesthood of Aaron, the Messiah is now taking that over and become the ultimate sacrifice for every one of these feast days, y'all. So we got to take advantage of what he's done for us and not use our liberty to just like, well, it don't matter, he'll be okay with it. No. Faith without works is what?
It's dead.
So the works you're going to have to prove on your own. Let every man be persuaded in his own mind. Yes. But y'all know how we get down, y'all. We do it, Feast of Weeks, Shavuot, Pentecost, y'all. And y'all know how we bring it, what cup we drink from. Yahushua, locally known as Jesus the Christ, the high priest after the order of Melchizedek, born of a virgin. Y'all, we do the law from the perspectives of Jew, Gentile, free or poor, rich or bond, male or female. That's what this priesthood order instructs all of us to do. It was the order that was given to Adam in the garden. It was the order that Abraham passed on to his sons, to Jacob, all the way till we came out of Egypt. Then it switched to the priesthood of Aaron. Well, when Messiah was crucified, that veil was rent. And you can look back in them holies of holies. We're back under the order of Melchizedek. He's the one and only high priest. Ain't no need listening to nobody else talking about I'm going to triple this or quadruple that. One and only high priest. Yes, sir. Is who David prophesied. Also Hebrews 7, the Lord said to my Lord.
Right.
Sit thou on my right hand till I make my enemies, till I make thy enemies thy footstool. He's the only high priest that is in existence because it's the everlasting priesthood. Won't switch out anymore. So y'all, once we got that understanding and we know what cup we drinking from, because if you believe in the Messiah and you believe Joseph his daddy, you believe in another Messiah. That's a blemished lamb.
Yep.
That lamb is tainted because he was brought into the world from their understanding of illegal intercourse before the marriage ceremony.
Yeah.
You can't, I don't know who you believe in, you might as well trade him in for Benjamin Carter,
right.
Hulan Mitchell, born of a virgin.
That's what it means.
That's what it means. And look, miss us with all that misdirection. Yes. Will John say, is this not Joseph's son, the Carter? Miss me with all that. Get right to the two people talking the conversation. Mary, who said, I don't know no man.
Right.
Sexually at all. And Joseph said, I ain't never touched it. The Holy Spirit said, both of y'all are right. Neither one of y'all did anything wrong. Why don't we just listen to what they're saying? Those three are involved.
Right.
Why would we go over here and listen to what somebody may be saying about what John said over here and you misunderstanding that?
Because it's fully in man to try to outdo the Most High.
That's right.
Deception.
Exactly. Listen to the people who having a conversation.
Right.
Look, when he took Peter up on the mountain, he said, who do men say I am? Mm-hmm. Peter didn't answer Joseph's son.
Right. That didn't come up.
Peter said, he said, some say you Jeremiah. Mm-hmm. Some say you Elisha. So he said, who do you say I am?
Right.
He said, you the Christ, the Son of the living God.
Right.
He said, upon that knowledge, player, that We'll build the church foundation from that point on. That's what we teach. Now this, the master asking his student, who do you say I am? And the answer was correct. How the hell you keep letting somebody mislead you over here talking about, well, it's okay if he was born that way. They just believe it from that way.
Say this to Father.
Oh boy, look here. Y'all, so we're not here to play games.
A little leaven into the whole.
The whole lot. When we say we drink from this cup, we talk about that cup at the Last Supper.
Yes, sir.
And when he took him up on that high mountain in 17, when it was Moses, Elijah, and them there with him, they asked him, should we build 3 tabernacles? No. The Father said, listen to him. This the one, this my son. Moses and Elijah was there, wasn't it?
They say, hey, show me in the New Testament where the Most High speak. I'll take it to that scripture.
Where the Most High speak.
Yeah, and I'll take it to that scripture. They still look away. They still look away.
Well, they choose to believe a lie.
He can't be real.
They choose to believe a lie. Too many prophets saying what it was. Then who else could it be then? That's the question. Or are you waiting on somebody? Well, long life has been Israel. So y'all, we're going to get right at it. We got any questions out there before we get started? So what we wanted to do, y'all, as we always do, we had some homework. And our Jeremiah wanted me to make sure that we kind of go over it. The only homework we gave out last week, we gave out. Today's topic is Feast of Weeks, Pentecost, Shavuot. We're going to get right into that, but y'all know how we do. Whenever we have homework, because we didn't get to those scriptures, we need to recap so that if you did get a chance to read that Numbers 27 and Numbers 36, we'll go over it really quickly to see if it's matching up with the homework you were studying. To make sure everybody on the same point. Two can't walk together unless they what?
Be agreed.
So y'all, if we will, no questions out there too bad? We get right to it. Numbers 27. And y'all, this to tighten back up because our discussion last week was Ruth a Moabitess? And we got clear understanding that she was of another nation. Based off of all the scripture, we went through all 4 chapters of Ruth, cleared it up. Anybody got any questions or concerns surrounding what was taught last week, bring them forth. We ain't got time to suspect or it can't be because I saw some map. No, we're talking about as it is written.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I can draw a map.
That got real good. I've been drawing these plans.
Boy, look there.
I never think I could draw.
Right.
I drew them plans. So I could put an X on that saying the treasure right here.
Right. Look, be digging like Oak Island.
Put no treasure there at all. Just wild.
Let's get at it, y'all. Numbers 27 and 1. We'll pick that back up just to recap the last of the homework, because this part was dealing with what was called the daughters of Zelophehad, that father had no sons, but daughters only. So they asked the question.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of Numbers, chapter 27 and verse 1.
Yes, sir.
Everybody there? Yeah, let's get Elisha there. We'll Terry for the brother. Yeah, up close to the front and the lock.
They messing with you, boy.
You sure?
Right.
That's what I heard.
Yeah. I'm talking. I wasn't there either.
All right, family. Numbers 27 and 1.
Uh-huh.
Then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. And these are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, and Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses and before Eleazar, the priest, and before the princes and all the congregation, by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against the Most High in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin, and had no son.
So we see here that the daughters of Jehoshaphat, it runs their lineage, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Tells you what tribe they come from, their father, where he comes from. And it said he died in the wilderness. Well, we know 3,000 dropped in the wilderness. So he said, but he was not a part of them rogue Negroes, them rebel rousers, them troublemakers that got swallowed up in the desert. 3,000 of them. He said, I wasn't part of that. I died of my own sin. Whatever caused him to die, that's what he died from. Cause the wages of sin is what?
Death.
So he's just stating that, but it had nothing to do with that rogue group because it was in the wilderness. So they wanted to make that clear. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 4.
Yeah.
Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family? Because he hath no son.
Because he hath no what?
No son. Give unto us, therefore, a possession among the brethren of our father.
So they're saying, look, everything our father owned, there's no son to pass it to.
Right.
And that would be the next heir, to receive the gifts. And it said, we behind the 8 ball. What are we supposed to do? What is he supposed to do because he didn't produce a son? Does this make him less of a man or anything like that? They're like, no, what do we do about this? And the Most High wants us to work out situations about his law, because the law will never change. The law is the light. If the light go out, we in darkness, right? Anybody teach you, Shalom said, that the law has been tampered with, or some pause and pen of the scribe? No, it's just the wicked tongue of the Pharisee, modern day.
Right.
If these laws are tampered with, there cannot be a judgment day. It's virtually impossible to even say you have to pick them out of here. So you're walking around with a pot of greens with a ham hock shank in it. And you say, if I pluck it out, the juice won't taint it. If you listen to that madness, you're going to go astray. If the light goes out of this, but every one of these people that teach that doctrine, they're trying to remove Judgment Day. You ain't going to remove Judgment Day because you decide to say, I only trust bits and pieces of the Bible. That's because you trust bits and pieces of yourself. The law is an absolute.
Yes, sir.
What time is it right now?
2:21.
Can we manipulate this actual truth of time right now, 2:21, with word etymology and say, well, technically, it's really 3:56.
Oh, you're not going to convince me.
Yeah, okay, good. But those times don't change, neither does the law ever. But are there like amendments to a law? Yes, but the law stands supreme. Inheritance is what it is. It's still going to go to the firstborn son like Abraham gave to Ishmael. He gave to Keturah's sons, but he said the inheritance went to Isaac. And Isaac gave that inheritance to Jacob and his 12 sons. Ishmael didn't get that part of the blessing. He got inheritance for being the son of Abraham, but it had nothing to do with the eternal blessing. One family got that, y'all. We have to be clear on that. Shalom, LC. So, y'all, with that Inheritance Act, that's why we was picking this up in the book of Ruth as well, because Naomi's son had 2 sons. They died, and just her daughter-in-law's left. No way to pass the same inheritance what we're talking about right here, y'all. And when we're talking about law, when you deal with the law, you have to deal with subject matters that paint the same picture. Not give me a law over here and it means that. Or say this law, you broke that law, that's a felony and it's misdemeanor over here. Because you don't understand certain words like kill. Thou shalt not kill. Well, it's already a problem with Ecclesiastes 3:8. There's a time to kill. Then, are you looking at the law and saying the law is fault? No, kill. There's 10,000 ways to kill. Underneath kill is manslaughter. Your beast killed somebody. Vehicular homicide. Suicide.
Selling some bad food.
That too, yeah. That'll get you killed quick. That'll get you killed quicker than anything. Boy, look, that'll have you hurry up in the funeral home. Manslaughter, or self-defense. If somebody trying to kill you and you have to put them down. Those fall all under killing. And then it says, but the felony killing is titled as murder. That means you thought out how to do this part of killing. And it says that is a situation that where it says there's no statute of limitation on that killing. If you murdered somebody 200 years ago, it's still on the books till you charge with it. So all those fall under killing. Fornication, that's the title. But underneath fornication, when you're saying fornication, it may be lightly think, okay, this man was whooping on himself like it owed money. You can't charge him with the adultery. Those are two different crimes. One a misdemeanor, one's a felony. But they're underneath fornication. You got adultery, you got bestiality, you got all of that falls under fornication. But you got to pick the one that falls under the title and apply the law that it deals with for that subject matter. You can't keep running back and forth. The law is exact. It's like a prosecutor go to the judge. He say, we want to charge him with all these things like this. He say, premeditated. I thought he just got hit in the head at the store. They just got into an altercation. You can't do premeditated. The best we're going to get is second degree or manslaughter. Drop the charges down. But if you don't understand this law, which is the light, you're going to throw out false charges. You're going to condemn people against the thing. And the chief thing you're going to do is you're going to lie on the devil and he hope you do. Shalom. And that's what the devil hope you do because he's the accuser of our brother. And what he do is go back. He said, I know you seen that, Lord, didn't you? That move right there he just did. I know you seen that.
But he calling everybody else out.
Yeah. If the law is done away with, how does Satan and his angels get cast into the lake? How does anybody?
What are they going to be judged by?
What are they going to be judged by? Let's get some more of this, y'all. We're going to get right on our subject of Shavuot, which takes place technically tonight at sundown, will be technically the first day of the week. We're going to get the second half of this day called the morning and the evening. We'll pick up that part of this feast day that starts technically tonight at sundown because it would technically be what we would call Sunday. Let's read some more. Where we at?
We're in the book of Numbers, chapter 27, and we're in verse 5.
Yeah.
Everybody there? Okay. And it reads, and Moses brought their cause before the Most High.
Who did he bring the cause before?
The Most High.
Not know somebody that's going to try to opinionate what's going on. He took it to the Most High. It's his laws. How do we adjust your laws? Give us permission to what we need to do about this situation with your law. If I'm commanded to be fruitful and multiply, and I got a testy problem, am I breaking that law?
You're trying.
Yeah. Let's get it. Where we at?
Verse 6. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, the daughters of Zehoshaphat speak right.
Right. What they do?
They speak right.
Uh-huh.
Thou shalt not surely give them a possession.
Read that again.
Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren.
Among their who?
Their father's brethren. And thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them.
See, so the inheritance of 5 brothers, the same exact thing, the situation with Ruth. The only difference in this situation is that they were Israelites. Ruth, they keep calling her the Moabites. Ain't no lineage nowhere. All of them 4th chapters not once identified her parents or where she come from.
Right.
Then we went into Genesis 38 where it talks about Tamar. She came, the Canaanite wife of Judah didn't want her around. It's like, that's a Mesopotamian woman. But they compare both events. The book of Ruth mentioned Genesis 38. So that's the subject matter we need to keep around what's going on so we understand the law. You feel me, Elijah? If you go somewhere else, you're going to go off base. Let's read some more.
Verse 8.
Yeah.
And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, if a man die and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. And if he have no daughter, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his brethren.
Right.
And if he have no brethren, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren. And if his father have no brethren, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family. And he shall possess it, and it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as the Most High commanded Moses.
And this is why it's so important when we talk about paperwork. You got to have paperwork. Paperwork is the same thing. You see how they're going next of kin, next of kin, next of kin. You talking about this my woman with no receipt? You ain't got nary a marriage certificate. What hospital you gonna go in and tell the doctor you want this procedure done? What funeral home you gonna go to and they gonna let you sign some paper? They be like, who's the next of kin?
Right.
Well, she got an auntie in Mississippi. Well, we need to get her on this phone because we don't know who this Yehuda Baba is right here claiming he her husband with no paperwork.
Right.
Better have them documents.
Yeah.
So, and if they can't find her in Mississippi, then it go to who's next on the list. But he will never be on the list because he ain't of kin.
Right. Yep.
And that's something the wicked always do. They line themselves up with that. Even dealing with the world, you gotta have that paperwork.
You better have that
Remember
paperwork.
what I was telling you this morning earlier about the music?
Yeah.
About not having ISRC code.
Boy, they like, look, where your paperwork?
Where your paperwork? Now the heathens keeping your money because you ain't had your paperwork, right?
Look here.
But now your paperwork and right for them.
Look here.
Oh yeah, it's working real well.
Real well for them.
Exactly. There you go.
Go ahead, bro.
Doing the work for them.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
And the Most High said unto Moses, get thee up into this Mount Abarim, and see the land which I have given unto the children of Israel. And when thou hast seen it, thou also shalt be gathered unto thy people,
Right.
as Aaron thy brother was gathered. For ye rebelled against my commandment in the desert of Zin,
Right.
in the strife of the congregation, to sanctify me at the water before their eyes, that is, the water of Meribah in Kadesh, in the wilderness of Zin.
So after the Most High do this, just move into another subject, why he put Moses to death. He said, I already put Aaron down for the same thing. You read that in Numbers 20:25, that where he court-martialed Aaron, took his garments off of him and put them on Eleazar. That's why Eleazar is mentioned right here. But Moses fixed his mouth to say, shall we give you water? The Most High said, speak to the rock. He hit it with a stick, but it say because them rabble rousers, them ones that like to keep stirring up trouble for no reason. He hit that stick and say, we. The Most High said, we. So you gonna do to me what I just punished Miriam and Aaron doing to you in Numbers 12 chapter. Looked at you, I told them you the intercessor for me. I made her suffer for 7 days as a leper about her doing that to you, and then you gonna do that to me in front of the children of Israel? Well, you gonna die for that, Moses. You gonna see the promised land, but you gotta go to sleep for that. I already put her to sleep about the same sin. You spoke ill-advisedly, and what that means is it got to the point you let somebody get you so riled up that you go against what you're taught. And see, Aaron and
Be angry and sin.
Angry
And
and
sin
sin
not.
not. That's how I say it. Be angry and sin not.
got too angry, and you said, we give you water. So the people start looking, well, Moses got the juice. Mm-hmm. Most High asked Moses, so why you speaking this French now? What is this we stuff? But we're going to hold that and get right to Numbers 36. What you got back there, Thomas?
No respect to person.
No respect to person.
I learned something from my brother yesterday. He taught me something. You
That was the Most High. I ain't waiting.
Mr. Boaz.
Right.
That was the Most High. That wasn't me.
Just like,
Well, look.
the movie, the TV.
Anybody in here could have told you, man, you got to put the shoes on the right feet. Look, this shoe is turned this way. That's your right shoe. If you'd have asked me, I'd have told you. I'm just messing with you, Thomas, though. Go ahead.
You know we gotta get you early.
Hey, we was talking about that too yesterday.
Get you early, man. Because the rest of the night gonna be yours.
In the movie, the Ten Commandments, Pharaoh Ramsey, the father, right?
Right.
His son was trying to get him to go against his foster brother Moses.
Right.
And he said, look, you have judged your brother. In my book, you judged your brother falsely.
Yeah.
He said, how did I send you to build the city? You come back with nothing.
Right.
I sent you to find this deliverer. You come back with nothing.
Right.
He said, but look, he done built the city.
Right.
He said, but Moses, he said, these people follow after you. Like, you know, do you have an army against me? And Moses said, they serve their God, I serve you, right? But the point was that he was fearing Moses because the people and you know, was gearing toward Moses so hard that he was fearing that Moses was going to use them to overthrow him.
You know when you ain't ready.
Right. Look,
You know when somebody can conquer you.
Right. But the deal was, it wasn't Moses doing, it was always the Most High. Real quick, give me Exodus 7 and 1. Somebody real quick, Exodus 7 and 1. This is what he did to Moses. This is why Pharaoh whined. This is why he was shook. This is why they had to put a veil over Moses' face. Because he was shining in the image of Messiah in his glory. Because the glory he saw, and they had to put a veil over, they like that light on you. What it say real quick? Exodus 7 and 1.
And the Most High,
Hold it down, y'all. Go ahead. What it say?
and the Most High said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a God to Pharaoh.
What have I made thee to Pharaoh?
A God to Pharaoh. And Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh, that he send the children of Israel out of his land.
See, so right there, he made Moses a God to Pharaoh. So all of the miracles he gave him, you would be God performing that. We don't care about no Negro calling himself God, Charlemagne. We don't care about none of that because they ain't doing no miracles. When you drop a staff and it turns to a serpent and eat theirs up, when flies come in and frogs and blood, and then they try to do it, they just doubling up the drama on their own self. But nothing hit the Israelites of Goshen. 10 plagues, we were still there for all 10 plagues in Egypt. So what the hell is we talking about running out of America for? We was 10 plagues there. If you're calling America Egypt and you're using Ezekiel 20:33 and say it's going to be a mirror image of that, where the hell you running to? So y'all, this is what we have to understand that Moses did. He said, I made you a God to Pharaoh, not to Israel. I made you an intercessor for them. You just in the place of Christ till we get through this point. That's all you are, Moses. Don't get beside yourself.
That's
And
why,
look.
That's why Paul had that thorn in his side.
Boy, look here.
Get beside yourself.
So let's get back to where we at. Let's jump right over to
Numbers 27.
36.
36.
36.
Yeah, we're getting right back to the daughters of Jehoshaphat so we can get how the marriage is supposed to take place, because everything in the Bible is with instruction and is law. It teaches you this is what you have to do. If you break one of this, it says do this to fix it, and then you keep the law. Like I was explaining to sis last week, she said, well, if you break one law, you break them all. That don't mean if I steal, then that means I've broken I've taken the mark of beast sin, I get charged with that too. Well, that's unpardonable. No, it means you broke. Every law has 4 sides to it. If you break one part of that or don't teach it right, then the whole law has to be tossed out. You can't use it. It's a mistrial. It makes sense?
Yeah, perfect.
You cannot break one part of it like the woman they brought in sin. We caught her in the very act. Well, the law, Deuteronomy 22 say, if you caught him in the very act, where's the man? It say put both of them to death. Where he at? He like this. Oh,
He like what?
like this with a rock in his
He got
hand.
a rock in his hand too.
Oh, right.
He got a rock in his hand too.
Wait a minute. What you got, LC?
You know how we was raised when you lie, they're like, when you lie, you believe it.
Yeah, you know what it was. That's what we was told, wasn't it? Boy, that really will put the pressure on you, wouldn't it? So, y'all, if you don't understand from that perspective, you know, like the Sabbath, it don't just say the Sabbath. There's apostrophe. We got Jubilee Sabbaths. If y'all looking at a situation over there like England, the whole queen right now is doing a 70-year Jubilee.
What that means?
That means she's been like 50 years. See how long she been on the throne. A Jubilee is 50 years, and then whatever else, the golden 70 that they added on there, she's been the longest monarch holding that reign forever, seem like.
Supposed to be king.
Right, she gonna outlive him. Yeah. So y'all,
Starting to look like she gonna be laid up though.
when we understand these things, y'all, what we're trying to keep your mind focused on is the law. Word etymology does not supersede the law. Rape, when you look at the law and you try to discourage individuals, and when you try to shame the Most High law by saying the Most High would never put a law in there, you can rape a virgin, but you have to marry her. That ain't what that law say. That's you trying to deceive people. There's 2 forms. When you look up the word force, if it force a virgin, but nothing in these scriptures say you can rape a woman and you can pay her dad. It says she was enticed. That's a slick Negro whispering naughty nothings. Promising her the coverage of marriage, but all I want to do is, that's what I'm talking about. And he ain't talking about boxing.
Same concept.
Yeah, but so that's what it was talking about. He must still pay. But a rape, there was instant murdering. Well, I shouldn't say murdering. Instant killing of the Most High, because murder is the shedding of innocent blood, and they ain't innocent. But when they was forced, it said, bring out verse. If she didn't holler out, kill them both.
Right.
If she was out in the field, find him and bring him and kill him because she was out there, couldn't nobody hear her hollering for help.
Right.
That's a force.
But if didn't nobody hear her hollering within the city limits, it wasn't no force.
Wasn't no force. It's too many people around for you to can't holler and say he raping me.
Right.
That's consent.
Yeah. So that's what the scripture is explaining. But force, like what Shechem did to Dinah, that was force because of king power. What David did was of king power. But he didn't force her. If you use that same level of force for every scripture, then King David raped Bathsheba. And that ain't what the charges was for. The charges never said he raped her. So he killed her husband to make it look like it's legal. So I can have her if he did. He didn't rape her like his sister, like his son did with his daughter, his virgin daughter. They had 2 different moms. That was forced rape. When she said, don't do this, brother. Please don't do this. Look, our daddy will let us get married, but don't take me. He said, shut up, heifer, and get out of them clothes.
Her brother looked at mama,
Killed him. And then he pointed to the door. Get this skank out of here. That's not what that law is talking about. Two different things, y'all. And then they had a nerve to say, don't trust the law. Or why would God say that? You don't question the Most High.
But then you know what I do, man? I keep it simple. I think about the scripture of Revelation where he said, if anybody mess with this, I got something wrong.
Yeah. Right. If you add unto or take away. If you take away, I don't care how your language is, every idle word going to be brought into judgment. Why did you say my law was tampered with or they shouldn't be trusted? Explain yourself. No. You won't get any plea deals that day. Well, can I just get the back end of the lake of fire? Nope.
He's still
No such thing.
It's still finna be hot.
No need trying to plead. Now, let's get this, y'all, because we got to get caught up. Where we at?
We're going to be reading in the book of Numbers, chapter 36. I'm going to start the reading in verse 1.
Yeah. 36. Y'all, this is explaining the law we just read in Numbers 27. It say, let them, if they had this, then the inheritance pass. Well, now you get the instructions of how that works. Because with all you're getting, you have to get what?
Understanding.
And without no law, you can't get no understanding.
The book of Numbers, chapter 36 and 1.
What it say?
And the chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spake before Moses and before the princes, the chief fathers of the children of Israel. And they said, the Most High commanded my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And my Lord was commanded by the Most High to give the inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, unto his daughter.
So now we see Moses being called Lord like the Messiah was at one time because Moses the intercessor. That's who he went to talk to, wasn't it? Moses was, they went to Moses, Moses went to the Lord.
And when you see it, it's saying Lord, it's a lowercase L, and then when it's the Most High,
absolutely,
it's capital.
So when David said, the Lord said unto my Lord, Moses dead, ain't it? Who is David talking about? Who's the intercessor in between this? Saul is dead.
Right.
Can't be called and talk about Saul. Let's read some more.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
And if they be married to any of the sons of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance.
So this is a very important verse right here, because this is what we read in Ruth when the kinsman before Boaz said, look, yeah, I'm next in line, but if I take her, I'm going to lose my inheritance because she don't have a tribe she coming from. I'll lose mine to the offspring after that. No, I can't do it. And Boaz said, well, I'll take it next then. See, all of this intertwined together when you're dealing with the law of passing inheritance. You know, but when you got somebody chasing, they hate all other nations on this earth, that nobody can be nobody but Israel. If it's a Moabite, it's Israel. You know, them Negroes out of New York were saying it's impossible for Bruce Lee to have them skills. He's an Israelite. Do that to me, boy. If y'all think I'm lying, it's out there. Boy, almost choked me to death.
So I guess
look, they hate every other nation so bad. If another nation doing anything on them levels, they like, can't nobody else on the planet do karate like that but Israel. So Bruce Lee is an undercover.
he would be,
He did get mad when he came down to New York and talked to the Israelites.
Boy.
well, he would be Bruce Levi.
Well, look, he would be Bruce Levi if that was the deal. But he ain't. But this is what we call the inclusion. If it ain't Israel, we don't want to hear it. If it say Moabite, then that's Israel, because God don't talk to nobody else. Let's get it. Oh, was that? Oh, I thought he had a trial or something.
All right, verse 4. And when the Jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then shall the inheritance be put unto the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our father. And Moses commanded.
Who commanded?
And Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of the Most High, saying, the tribe of the sons of Joseph hath said well.
What have they done?
They have said well.
See, the Most High say, I like the way they negotiated that, but my law ain't changed. The still inheritance going on. But we got to make an adjustment if there's no sons. It's still the same law. How do we amend this to work for a man that has no sons? Because we got a commandment over here saying be fruitful and multiply. If he stopped that, or if he continued to be fruitful and multiply and keep producing daughters, what is he going to do about his inheritance? It goes to whoever she marries to their side of the family. No, it wasn't supposed to be like that. So we're going to get further instructions on how to prevent that. Let's get some more.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
This is the thing which the Most High doth command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them marry to whom they think best.
To whom they think what?
They think best. Only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry.
See, and this one telling them, let them only marry to whatever man come to their tribe and say, heifer is me.
Right.
No, they got to choose who they looking at, that how I want my father's inheritance to pass. You just can't walk up and snatch, I'm here for that inheritance. That's what they're trying to do. Get all the inheritance. Boy, look at it. What else to say?
Verse 7.
Yeah.
So shall not the inheritance of the children of Israel remove from tribe to tribe. For every one of the children of Israel shall keep himself to the inheritance of the tribe of his father. And every daughter.
And every what?
And every daughter that possesseth an inheritance in any tribe of the children of Israel shall be wife unto one of the family of the tribe of her father, that the children of Israel may enjoy every man the inheritance of his father.
It don't go nowhere. It stays in this tribe.
Yep.
Stays in the family, stays in the house.
What you got over there, LC?
Judah got to be Judah.
Absolutely.
Levi,
yeah. So, and that's why the deal with the Messiah, Mary Judah, Joseph Judah, that allowed for the inheritance of the kingship for the throne to be restored. Same tribe, and what tribe did Christ come out of?
Judah. Yeah.
It couldn't have been a mixed tribe. Mary couldn't have been Levi. Mary, it said Elizabeth was her cousin. If we got one father, if Ariel the father, and we the three brothers, what? Reuben, Levi, and Zebulon. Zebediah, that's a good one, man. But if we have children, what are our children to each other? Is that hard? Why you gonna make her Levi and it's just a cousin? She said Elizabeth just her cousin, which she is. Right. She just of a different tribe, but they still cousins. Mordecai was Esther's cousin, wasn't he? Yeah. Then he called him a cousin. He was from Benjamin. Go ahead, what you got, LC?
Like Ephraim and Manasseh, they'll be the same thing, but they'll be a half tribe.
But they make up the tribe of Joseph, but they're still considered like one tribe technically because they're half tribes. They just taking the place of Joseph. That's why their name's on the gate and not Joseph in the kingdom. So, y'all, this is what we're trying to do is move through how stuff moves. But when you teach a doctrine that you can be void of this, and I'm talking about paperwork, it just go off of what I say, heifer. Well, you can't say that to the judge out the courthouse. How you gonna tell me the Lord ordained this? Where? Where? Behind that curtain? Boy, look here. Where we at? Let's finish this up so we get right into the Shavuot.
We're in verse 9.
Yeah.
Neither shall the inheritance remove from one tribe to another tribe, but every one of the tribes of the children of Israel shall keep himself to his own inheritance.
What shall he do?
Keep himself to his own inheritance. Even as the Most High commanded Moses, so did the daughters of Zelophehad. For Mahlah, Tirzah, and Hoglah, and Milcah, and Noah, the daughters of Zelophehad, were married unto their father's brother's sons. And they were married into the families of the sons of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. And their inheritance remained in the tribe of the family of their father.
Y'all see that? That clear language. It stayed in there because of who they married. They kept it close to the point like they were supposed to. Go ahead. What else it say?
Verse 13.
Yeah.
These are the commandments and the judgments which the Most High commanded by the hand of Moses unto the children of Israel in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho.
So we got a clear understanding of how that inheritance law breaks down and how it moves. Now, if it said, look, if you just can't deal with a Judite and you just find yourself marrying a Reubenite, well, you're going to lose your father's inheritance. If he have a child, it's going to pass on that side. Well, hopefully that child will grow up and still understand you, his mother, and if he get the inheritance, he going to take care of you. Like Ishmael took care of his mother when Abraham sent both them out. He didn't give her no blessing, gave her, he said the child going to be blessed. Going to have 12 princesses or 12 tribes. They going to be blessed. But the inheritance, the angel said, is going, Abraham got to give him something. It's his son. Ishmael is his firstborn son, but he's not the promised son. But he gets an inheritance, and sons usually take care of their mom. Because remember, Abraham went to go see about her, and that angry wife he had, that Canaanite Ishmael, he said, where's the man? He said, he goes somewhere with his mom. So Ishmael is still hanging out with his mom, and she ain't letting him get out of her sight.
And if it ever was a question as to why do y'all do things that way, that verse 13 tells how it went down when the Most High gave the commandment to Moses.
Yeah.
Where he gave it to.
Yeah.
Who he gave it to.
Right.
And that this is where it was established.
Right.
And there it is. That's nobody's own remedy for the situation.
No, because it will list any Israelite when it's something that's dealing with law, always list at least the lineage of the father. And we saying we ain't got nothing on Ruth. I'm just asking right now, like you asking, what's the name of her parents? Can you truly say that it was Ephraim in that land? Because I ain't seen nothing in the 4 chapters of Ruth. I saw Ephratah, but that's a part of a land. That's not Manasseh and Ephraim. That's a misunderstanding. Men would call Ephratah, but that's not a tribe. Let's get right into the heart of it. Feast of Weeks, y'all. Shavuot, Pentecost, y'all. We got that coming up very soon in hours, y'all. That's a doctor appointment of the big 3 that we have to make sure we make this doctor's appointment, y'all. See, when we had Passover come in and the unleavened bread, we went through that, and that was a cleansing process to get all the leavening out of us. Now we need to present ourselves as a first fruit to the Most High. I'm talking about being your best self, not your half of self. If you still talking about, he got to be working on me, then all that's just what you offering then. You offering half of self. Here, you say it's only a piece of something. But he tells us, look, if you don't have anything, give me your best obedience. Offer that to me up front. Your best obedience is during this time. Show me, and then the Holy Spirit is dropped down on everybody at that point. Because that's when the gift come in. It's a gift. You don't deserve it. Let's get right to Leviticus 23. Y'all, we're going to get through these and we're going to get right to the heart of the matter. and we're going to see the first fruits taken from the earth. But there's a qualification for these first fruits. Y'all, like I say, we don't own no land. Some of us may have some property. Land of where we go, but since that the law covers everything, you're not going to be able to say, well, where was I going to get some wheat and some barley from? See, that's the poison opinion of the scribe. Why would God have that in here today? Most of us live in the city. See, so you're going to outthink the Most High now, huh? It don't make sense to you. You don't make sense to you. Look in the mirror. Go ahead. Leviticus 23, 15 through 21.
Leviticus chapter 23, verse 15.
Yes, sir.
And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye were brought from the sheaf of the wave offering. 7 Sabbaths shall be complete.
So it's saying from when we brought in the Feast of Tabernacles, when that came in, we had to have 7 complete Sabbaths in one day. So if we count from when we had the Passover, technically it was on a Sabbath day. But until we get to the next Friday sundown, it has to be a complete Sabbath. You can't start in the middle of the week and then you get to a Sabbath and you say 1. No, you short 4 days. So complete Sabbath, 1. The following week after that. The following week after that, 2. And then you add 1 day. 7 times 7 is what?
49.
Plus 1?
15.
Yeah. Let's read some more.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
Even until the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50 days.
How many days?
50 days.
Uh-huh.
Ye shall offer a new meat offering unto the Most High.
So, and we understand that people that do the new moon as the Sabbath, and we know they Sabbaths rotate. The problem we keep having is whatever day you did the Passover, I'm not seeing you getting less than 36 days, or you gonna get 54. But what number was we supposed to have right here?
50.
What? 50. If you got 36 and you got 54, you can't just say, well, that's good enough. Some got to be recalculated, don't it?
No, big time.
Right. Because you're going to be spinning your wheels trying to make it work. Like trying to make the gas pump stop on $3 only. And then to do 302. I'm going to get it at 301. 399. Ah, 303. I'm going to get it at 4. Before you know it, $20 in there.
I just did
it. Trying to save 2 cents and put 98 back in there.
I just go to an odd number.
Yeah.
Now you in overdrive.
Yeah. Come see the cashier. Let's get it, y'all.
Verse 17. You shall bring out of your habitations 2 wave loaves of 210 deals. They shall be of fine flour. They shall be baken with leaven. They are the first fruits unto the Most High.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year.
Without what?
Without blemish.
See, now, a Negro accept these 7 lambs. They'll go out of their way to grab these. And then say the Messiah was born in a roll in the hay. Joseph had her before the ceremony. Y'all understand what I'm saying? How they want to call themselves sticking to the record that you will accept an unblemished beast, but you'll call the Messiah, say he was born blemished.
Right.
And then you say he can protect me.
Wow. Verse 18.
Yeah.
And ye shall offer with the bread 7 lambs without blemish of the first year.
Uh-huh.
And 1 young bullock, and 2 rams. And they shall be for a burnt offering unto the Most High, with their meat offering, and their drink offerings, even an offering made by fire. sweet savor unto the Most High.
See, so once again here, we see our unleavened bread for 7 days, but this is leavened bread now. We back to eating again, ain't we? Yeah. We never quit eating bread. We just ate bread with no leaven in it for 7 days. We never did quit. We just quit one ingredient. He don't take from us. He take what we need from us. He gives us the same substance, but he takes out what it needs to get us corrected. Sometimes by fasting, sometimes by prayer, or he'll find a way to do it. If he say, I have to take something from you, I will take it from you to get your attention. Don't we do it to our children? Take that game from them. You want it to be 2 weeks?
He stripped me down.
Boy, look here. What you got?
19.
Yeah.
Then ye shall sacrifice 1 kid of the goats for a sin offering. And 2 lambs of the first year for a sacrifice of peace offering. And the priest shall wave them with the bread of the first fruits for a wave offering before the Most High. With the 2 lambs, they shall be holy to the Most High for the priest. And ye shall proclaim on the selfsame day that it may be in holy convocation unto you. You shall do no servile work therein. It shall be a statute forever in all your dwellings.
In all your what?
In all your dwellings throughout your generation.
So this means clearly, anybody tell you we can't do the feast days in a strange land, what did it say do with that?
All your dwellings.
You don't think
your generation.
You don't think the Most High knew we was going into captivity?
Oh, yeah. Saying it in Deuteronomy.
See, dog, that's the poison pen of the scribe. Nah. Why would he say that? And we know we going to captivity, and you let that squirrel keep running around in your head on that wheel.
Right.
It's clear to me. Hold right there, y'all. Let's back it right up. When we talk about the best you got, give me Mark 12:41. And we're going to go right back to the beginning and see first fruits offered. Genesis 4, because they'll make you think every sacrifice has to do with something about eating blood or eating meat and eating it. Sacrifices were also for thanking the Lord. Thank you for doing what you're doing. You ain't nobody coming down and taking the meat back up. Yeah, this was prepared by Elijah, one of his specialties. No, the smoke that rises up, he gets a whiff of that.
Notice he said, lamb for the peace offering.
Yeah. That's what we talk about. The Messiah fulfills all of that. You got to take him as your first fruit. You have to acknowledge the sacrifice he made for us as a first fruit unto the Most High. Now you can go out to Whole Food and get you some wheat, some corn, and throw it on the table like Cain. You'll get the same results as Cain. How you ain't gonna believe in the Messiah and time is based off his birth? You don't even know how old the hell you are because it's in BC or AD. Go back and get Pharaoh time clock and see how old you are and what year you're on. You can talk about that civilization all you want, but it's based off of the birth of Christ. Egypt, 3,000 something BC.
Right.
Not Horus D.
Talking about that Enochian calendar and all that. How old are you on the
Yeah, how old are
Enochian
you?
calendar?
Yeah, how old are you on the Enochian calendar? Run them numbers.
Right.
Hell, you may be too old to be in the 8th grade. You may be 35. I wonder everybody thought you was the substitute teacher. You too old. Run your calendar.
Jethro Bodine, huh?
Where we at, bro?
Mark 12.
41. 41. And y'all, and this is what we talking about. Offer the best offering, y'all, because it's a new year. We done been through the cleansing process. We eating unleavened bread to get the leavening out of our heart. And now the first fruits are coming. It's like what you got to offer the Most High. Is it the same thought process before the year started? No, this ain't like Catholic when they do Lent. You quit something for 30 days. You quit the stronghold right here forever.
Mm-hmm.
If it's leavening, you got to get it out, especially this Pharisee talk. Let's read some more.
Mark 12 and 41.
Right.
And Yahweh Shah sat over against the treasure and beheld how the people cast money into the treasure.
What they do?
Cast money into the treasure. And many that were rich cast in much. And there came a certain poor widow, and she threw in 2 mites.
Right.
Which make a farthing.
What it make?
A farthing. And he called unto him his disciples and said unto them, Verily I will say unto you, that this poor widow hath cast more in than all they which have cast into the treasure. For all they did cast in of their abundance.
Of their what?
Abundance. But she of her want did cast in all that she had, even all her living.
That's good? Yeah, we can hold that. So what we're talking about is the first fruits just can't be because you got it like that. You know, if you thinking I'll just give like this because I got it like that, well, I'm going to compare you to a woman that's on her last and she's saying, this is my first offering. If you got it like that, that may be your second or third, you know, offering. You be like, I ain't going to give them the best. That's why we're going right back to Genesis at the beginning. And all he's saying is this mindset, what Paul spoke of in 1 Corinthians 13. Charity, pure charity. He said, if I give all my stuff to the poor and it's not charity, I just gave some stuff away. It don't mean nothing. I may have gave them away because I was tired of them being in my closet and using that as a scapegoat to, well, you know, Lord, I gave away all them clothes. Them clothes was outdated. Them clothes you had before you did that 15-year bid in the penitentiary. They don't wear them no more.
The pantries and the pantries and whatnot. A lot of people that get to the pantries don't give you the best of what they got. They give you the food they don't have. Expired food.
Well, and we understand that, but what I'm talking about is the charity level.
Right.
You know, so if they're getting food from somebody else, it's not, I'm not saying they're not getting it from their garden. It's being donated to them. Like this building here, the Urban League may have boxes of food down there that they're getting donated to them. It's not them shortchanging the people. It's what they got that's being given to them, the surplus, to give to the people in the community. That's a little bit different from somebody that just, well, no, don't give them that. No, that's the good cream. Give them that powder one over there. Hit it on the table like that and see if it's stuck together. It ain't, give them that.
That's good enough.
That's good enough.
It ain't sticking together yet. So
Right. So when you give the Most High your best, he said, I'd rather that you don't give nothing, but keep the commandments. He said, that's the best gift you can give me. Keep the commandments. Because I know you giving your brother a gift then. I know you're going to treat him as yourself.
You showing love then. You showing hospitality. You showing charity in your heart.
Because Sirach 37 will tell you about that false giving as well as what Paul was saying, look, if I can do every miracle on the planet and I have not charity, if it ain't truly from my heart. See, you can't govern a gift. Now, I'm going to give you this money, but you better not go buy nothing to drink. How you going to govern the gift? I mean, if he's standing outside the liquor store, what you think he going to do? Uber! Yeah, it's a Kentucky Fried Chicken about 2 blocks up. Can you run me up there?
No, you gonna get some of that gas station chicken.
Go ahead, what we at? Genesis 4, 1 through 7. What you got, LC?
Say, when you give, don't use grievous words.
What you say?
When you give, don't use grievous words.
No, you ain't got to be going through all of that. It's what it is. And the scripture warns us. It said, don't give what you can't afford to lose. It don't care who he is, it don't care how he it don't care what position they in. He said, what happens if they come and take your bed? You can't give your bed away and say, Lord, is Rothman going to be open tomorrow? Because I'm sleeping on the floor.
You should have gave away your baby.
Right. Well, only good thing out of that, you'll never fall out of bed. Sleeping on the floor. Where we at?
Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. Genesis chapter 4, verse 1.
What it say?
And Adam knew Eve.
What did Adam do?
Knew Eve.
Did he say, hey, are you Eve?
No.
Are you my rib? Shalom, shalom. Are you my rib, or is this a different type of no? Go ahead. What happened after that?
And Adam knew Eve, his wife. And she conceived.
What she do?
Conceived.
So that lets us know what type of no it is.
We're in the knowing.
We're in the knowing. It's not just he know her by name. Conception happened. See, and that's these crazed Negroes are trying to say it was an arranged marriage when Mary said, I have not known a man. Like they say, well, you didn't know that was Joseph. No, I didn't know who that was. It was arranged. The problem is, she still didn't know him after the conception. She said, I still don't know who it was. So you telling me arranged marriage, a man come into the chambers, have his way with you, and you still don't know what his name is?
Right.
Or is it the correct knowing?
Right.
See, y'all, it's tomfoolery. I never knew a man. I never conceived by mankind. And the Holy Spirit don't come over you with lust. Next thing she knows, she wanted peanut butters and pickles. Don't know why. But the conception was there. The craving started. Where we at?
Still in verse 1.
That's what y'all still eat peanut butters and pickles? Is that a craving? Oh, yeah, okay.
These are beyond, we don't know.
Right. Oh, okay. Go ahead, bro.
And Adam knew Eve, his wife.
Right.
And she conceived and bare Cain.
Right.
And said, I have gotten a man from the Most High. And she again bare his brother Abel.
Right.
And Abel was a keeper of the sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground.
Now you'll have some say that this Cain was Lucifer's son and Abel was Adam's son because it's twinning there. Well, there is a scientific proven fact of a word called superfetation, if you will, get that for me, or super defunctation. And it means a woman can conceive in the same womb by two different men. Yeah, I mean, you can look it up, it's still happening to this day, but I just want you to read it, and I'm just saying for those that say this was the devil's son, the only problem is Cain wasn't a giant. He would have had to be a giant for it to be Satan's son. And yes, her curses was one of multiple conceptions during childbirth. So there's a lot of twinning going on. But what we're saying is a lot of other things that you would have to tie in to make Cain Satan's physical son. Was he his spiritual son? Yes. He has the mind of Satan.
But remember, Christ called the Pharisees the children of the devil.
That's right. See, that's why we have to be careful if lust takes place in those wee hours and you picture somebody else. Then that child, you would really want it to be that person's child. What'd you say, boy? Go ahead, where we at? Yeah, what'd it say, bro?
There's two of them.
Yeah.
One of them, they different.
Okay. Superfetation.
Along the same line.
Yeah. Superfetation. That's superfetation. The presence of fetuses of different ages,
right,
resulting from the fertilization and development of two or more ova, liberated at different periods of ovulation in the same uterus.
Look at the one above it.
And superfecundation, the impregnation of more than one ovum within a single menstrual cycle by separate acts of coitus, especially by different males.
There you go.
See, we can look that up right now, and it'll tell you a German soldier and this white German wife, the baby, one black and one white, came out. Two different fathers. See, and why women always ask, well, man can have more than one wife. I mean, more than one wife. Why can't we can't have more than one husband? Because of this problem. Who the baby daddy?
Somebody could get hurt.
Who the, yeah. Right.
There's no ransom
Right.
for the rage of a jealous man.
Boy, look here.
Oh, no.
Where we at? We finished that? Let's read what for the first fruits came.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Most High. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling.
What he bring?
The firstling.
You see how first fruits is it? It's got nothing to do with Abel sinning. Abel's a herdsman like his dad. He brought the firstling of his flock. What Cain bring? Fruit of the ground.
You go and you read in the book of Judges,
He just
it
picked
says
it
he
up.
brought the inferior fruit.
Yeah.
He brought the worst of the worst.
He didn't pick it from the bag. He picked it up off the ground.
What he do, boy?
He didn't pick it off the bag. He picked it up off the ground.
Picked it off the ground. Didn't even want to work to pick it off the tree.
Right.
Right. Right.
Put in my storehouses the good fruit. You
Yes.
know, putting in
Yeah.
ones that was rotten and flies and old.
And look, y'all, this is what Saul did too. Saul had plenty of firstlings, unblemished in there. But when they took this land and took all the sheep, he said, well, I ain't gonna get the Lord none of mine. I'll just give him these extra we just got from them.
Right. The one that he didn't even want.
Well, he didn't even want.
Most times he said destroy everything.
Everything.
Look, I don't want none
I
of
don't want none of it. Look, how you gonna play me like that? You gonna give me, I led you into battle and made it successful. And you think that's what I want.
Right.
See, that's the difference in Abraham after the order of Melchizedek, because when he did it, he paid all his soldiers because they risked their life. They was of other nations. He said, I hear y'all got some good fighting skill. I gotta go get my nephew.
Right.
Paid them with all of the leftovers from that, and then he broke bread with Melchizedek, who was Shem at the time, and paid a 10th then of that small, of the increase of that small. He gave it to Melchizedek, who was Shem at the time. That's why Hebrews 7 said he paid tithes in Levi before Levi was even thought about it. 10% came way before Levi. What do you mean the law started in Mount Sinai? What's tithe and Abraham is talking about here? Same laws, different priesthood. Jacob tithe, Genesis 30, free will tithe. He said, if you be with me, I'll promise I'll give you a 10th of everything that I got. Way before Levi. Let's read some more.
Verse 4 again.
Yeah.
Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Most High had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Respect unto Abel and his offering. Let's read some more.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
But unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance failed.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, poke mouth. Now he got the poke mouth.
Right.
Go ahead. Now his lip on the ground.
Yeah.
And the Most High said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shall thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
What is sin?
Transgression of the law.
How are you stuck in Mount Sinai saying, well, we wasn't under the law then? What is sin again?
Transgression of the
It's
law.
somebody's law, ain't it then?
That's right.
Let's read some more.
But look, brother.
Yeah.
The Most High telling us right there in verse 7. Come on, he reading it with Cain right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, all is well. But Cain still tripped even under this talk, right?
Because we got the poke mouth.
Yeah, this is a pep talk.
See, he's still mad at the Most High. He want to do the laws the way he want to do with them. Look, you ain't going to eat them anyway. What difference does it make if I get them off the ground or out the tree?
Because I told you.
You going to come down and get it?
Because he sure said, am I my brother's keeper?
Right.
What else to say? We right there. We finished that.
Verse 7.
Just finish 7 again. Yeah.
If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
So sin will rule over you when you refuse to keep the instruction. When you want to force it another way, when you want to change the law, when you want to do something different. The Most High say sin lieth at the door. It's called disobedience. It's plain and simple. It ain't hard, is it?
He give you up to it.
Let's get right to it, y'all. So we get some understanding. Give me Deuteronomy 16, Deuteronomy 16, 9 through 17. And then we're going to get right into the Pentecost and when it came. But I want to get 2 Chronicles as well, 8, because I want to show when Solomon, when we were in peacetime, what was taking place. Yo, Israelites scattered to the four corners, and there's always going to be nations around. It's so his law can go forth. If you only around Israel the only one getting the message, ain't it?
It's supposed to be to the law sheet. Right? If we only telling each other, like, we might well be putting it in the net.
He said the publicans do the same.
Publicans do the same. People talk to their own, but the bottom line is this message needs to go to them. What you got back there, bro?
YouTube, they doing little documentaries like Afro-Mexicans, Afro-European, people in London and UK and all this. They showing you in different countries where people look just like Hebrews, but they from that country. Yeah.
Right, we scattered to the four corners. They just had an article in the Daily Mail the other day, the black Iraqis.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Came from, they brought over in the slave trade.
The dude with the afro.
Yes.
When I studied Islam, when I studied Islam, I used to study Al-Islam after I left the Nation of Islam.
Right.
I was studying Al-Islam, which is supposed to be the Sunni and Shiite type Islam.
Right.
But the Imam, I was studying up at St. Louis U. The Imam was blue-black, darker than gay.
Ooh, what?
Man.
Boy, that's black.
Hold on.
Boy.
Man, when I
That's,
say,
look here, boy. You say he walked past a bag of charcoal and say, Daddy?
I kid you not, brother, I had never seen no black person look like this, and he had straight, shiny, cold black hair. But all those watered down Ishmaelites,
Yeah.
man, they respect, reverence that cat like he was a real Ishmaelite.
They know.
He was the real deal. And when he spoke, man, they crushed, they zipped it up quick. All the ones we see on CNN, the light-skinned, watered-down Ishmaelites, no, they didn't play with that blue-black one. That blue-black one didn't play, man. When he spoke, they quiet down. They opened the door, and two of them got mad because it's when women outside didn't have their heads covered. He told them, don't you ever interrupt my class like that again. Go sit down. Man, they bucked down, man, bowed.
Did it?
Went quiet, man. I'm like, whoa, this dude is serious, man. But I have never in my life seen a black cat like that in my life. And so when I learned the scriptures came into the truth, I understood that was a real Ishmaelite. The ones we see in the 7-Elevens are the watered down, miscegenated with Edomites.
Yeah.
Right. That's why they have Abraham instead of Ishmael. They have Abraham to instead of Ishmael. I said, why y'all reference Ishmael?
Right.
Abraham. I said, Ishmael is right.
Yeah, they know that. They want us. They claim Abraham so they can say they related to us.
Right.
That's why they'll say Abraham amongst us, but amongst anybody else, they'll claim Ishmael. And a lot of Israelites that claim Ishmael to a lot of Israelites as well. Long as, if you know who you are and you go to them and tell them, they'll tell you, yeah, you're right. You're right. They won't deny
I had a conversation with several.
Just like a real Moabite will tell you they're Moabite.
Right.
Or a Hamite will tell you they still call themselves Hamites.
Right.
They ain't Canaanites. They still refer to themselves as those.
That stuff, you treat the real well. You know who we are.
Where that stove at?
Right here.
No, upset me. Right. I'm like, wait a minute. That's the devil trying to trick us. No.
We was loading up.
Look here. Oh, that was the devil trying to get us down into ice. Just chicken down there. We just messing with. We know what you're talking about, Shabbat. Let's get it, y'all. With that what? Oh yeah, with that. Oh boy, scaring people in that room, boy. Where we at, y'all?
Deuteronomy 16.
9 through 17, y'all. Let's get it caught up.
Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 9. 7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee, beginning to number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put the sickle to the corn.
Right.
And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Most High thy power, with a tribute of the free will offering of thine hand.
What kind of offering is it?
Free will offering.
You can't steal from yourself, so to speak. If you do it, if you say, well, I'm going to give them more than enough, I'm going to give them juniors and them lunch for next week too. You're not fooling the Most High. You done gave away lunch, trying to think he going to double it back up on you. Well, maybe I give him all this, he'll get Junior them skates and that bike and talk to that teacher about them failing grades. You can't buy no favor from the Lord. It's free will. That means you're in control of the giving.
What happened to Fire
And Ananias in Acts 5 sold a property, but only kept back part of the price. We said, we're going to sell it. We just going to give y'all the money. Sold it for 50 G's if that's the case. Gave him 30. The Holy Spirit said, look at these. And Peter and them just asked him, who property was it? What did y'all? Y'all could have kept all of it and say, we changed our mind. But to lie to the Holy Spirit, right. You stick 20 in your pocket. And then they say, well, there's some men out here to bury your rear end for lying to the Most High. Here come his wife in with shopping bag. Hey.
Telling the same lie.
How much y'all sell that property for? 30 G's? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, your husband dead, Austin Lane just buried him. So you up next.
They on their way to get you too.
Right. He say it's your property. It's yours. The Most High ain't gonna take from what you have to give him. He don't work by a program. He said, I supply your needs. Just acknowledge me one time. Just show me you appreciate what I'm doing for you. Ain't that all our parents ask us to do? Boy, just go to school and do that, and I'll take it.
Right.
Just do right.
But you dress up and go to school just to roam the halls. Can you imagine that? Get on the bus and everything and just hiding and ducking and going. What you at school for?
Right.
Hiding all day.
All day.
To recess.
To recess.
To between class.
Right.
And you know, every lunch.
Every lunch.
Right, you eating at every lunch period.
So like the church used to say, you can't give all that you have and then all that you don't have. And God look at the bless you.
No, because he say, if you give me what will he say, this is the sanctuary. You know, that's why there's a difference, like we were saying, between begging and poor. You got to be able, poor is an economic status. Begging means I'm just trying to get over. I'm going to make a life of getting over off of y'all hard labor. That's a different. Poor means we may have more month than money. Somebody may have to get a part-time job, or I may have to do a little hustling on the side to make a meet. That's poor. So the range of that poor, middle class, wealthy. But Paul say, even if the poor give all of it like it's a lottery, it's a problem still for the poor. Mm-hmm. You can't give all you got and say, well, he said he's going to bless me, I'm waiting.
You have nothing to sustain.
And you have nothing to sustain yourself. He said you have houses. You got to take care of your house. If a man don't take care of his household, he worse than what? How you going to come to the Lord and say, Lord, all the lights, everything, Junior ain't ate in 3 days, and he got on that same pamper from last week. What you got on that field?
Last week? That boy
Making everything. Right.
It's a bigger fight, right?
Right.
Okay, so we ain't got to get to him.
You know, but the script say always look them in the eye. He said you got to look in the eye because they could be poor, but there's a fine line. If you let the window down, they be like, look, all I'm just trying to do get on my feet. You know, anybody that's hiring. Well, look, man, I know a brother, man, he pick him up every morning at the Home Depot. Just get down there and stand right there. Or like the Messiah went by the marketplace and idle meeting down there. He like, hey, you want to put in a little work for a penny for these out? Yeah, do it. And he kept getting people. They kept jumping on the back of the truck. But you got to be where you can get on the back of the truck. Right. Now it's a living out there what they doing now.
Yeah.
Professional signs and it's a hustle game now.
Yeah, it is.
But Sirach says the poor labor.
Yeah, and it does have enough.
So he's saying the poor still go to work.
Yeah.
They just don't make enough to make ends meet.
Yeah, and look, everybody,
And
look.
he said the poor labor.
We talking about check to check or that second check after you get fired. Because the one you get, you got one coming after that. Ain't no more money coming. Nope. Unless you got something saved up. That's what the classes, the economics, they say the rich, if you just give it because you got it and it have no meaning, you don't even know where it's going to. You just figure, hey, I'll write it off on my taxes. Where that money go to?
Well, I heard the man say once it's on your ass, it ain't an asset.
What you said, bro?
I said, if it's on your ass, it's not an asset.
Boy, look this. Absolutely, bro. Boy, yeah. Look here, wait a minute. Ari, I just sent that Muslim you were talking about. That's his daughter?
Boy, it might be, boy. That's blue
Did
black.
You see that?
He was black. Dude was black like that, though.
You see that boy?
Yeah.
Right.
It looked like a black spot on her, don't it? But the dude was black. He was black like that.
Now look, y'all, and see, this lets you know too that all these false doctrines coming up in the last days, where this new melanin doctrine, talking about how much melanin you got in your skin, then they should be running the world. They should be the champion boxers. They should be the best brain surgeons. They should be everything with all that melanin in them. Shouldn't they be? Yeah. But they ain't, is it?
Nope.
You ain't gonna change the covenant with a skin color.
Not by a long shot.
Let's read some more. Where we at? 16.
Right,
we get to 17.
Verse 10,
Yeah, free will.
And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Most High thy power, with a tribute of a free will offering of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto the Most High thy power, according as the Most High thy power hath blessed thee.
As the Most High have done what?
As he hath blessed thee. And thou shalt rejoice before the Most High thy power, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite that is within thy gates, and the stranger.
And the who?
And the stranger.
So there's somebody else always around us from another nation, and are we around them? Because the program is a worldwide program. Because what tribe is Adam from?
Right.
See, because that's what it keeps going back to the beginning. He's the tribe of what we call mankind. And people are put in certain positions for certain things that they do. They're put in positions that his plan come to pass. So everybody have to be on board with the plan. You can't have a servant in your house that don't know the laws of the Most High and go to sleep.
Serving you poor things.
And you know you keep hearing, you like, is that a hacksaw or I'm dreaming?
Nat Turner recurring.
Boy, look here. Go ahead, what else to say?
And the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are among you, in the place which the Most High thy power hath chosen to place his name there. And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in Egypt, and thou shalt observe and do these statutes.
And see why it keeps reminding you where you come from so you don't forget. Remember, don't get too big for your shorts. And look, you know who will let us know where we come from? The lowest rung on any other nation, the redneck trailer park. You know what he'll say? He say, I don't care about you living in Creve Coeur. Guess what? You got my daddy's name. Nigga. So what? Me and my sister in here making chilies.
You say children?
Children. You still lower than me because you ain't got your own name. I'm Rusty Jenkins. Father was Rusty Jenkins Sr. What's your daddy's name? Jefferson, Washington. No, that ain't your daddy's name.
Yeah,
your
Jenkins
slave master's name.
Yeah, Jenkins too.
Boy, look here. Yeah, he's Jenkins too.
And you know, we tell you, you got a slave, I say what I would tell him. Slavery was ordained by God himself. That's what I would tell him.
Look, that's what James Mason said. Now look, they will accept that part, but they won't accept those you've been captive to. You're going to be their captive. So as long as you keep remembering that into the resurrection, we fine. Because God ordained part 2 too.
Yeah.
Let's get it, y'all.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
Thou shalt observe the feast of tabernacles.
What shall we observe?
The feast of tabernacles, 7 days. After that, thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine. And thou shalt rejoice in thy feast, thou and thy son, and thy daughter, and thy manservant, and thy maidservant, and the Levite, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within thy gate.
So you can hold us. That gets into the big 3. And what we're talking about, y'all, out of the big 3, these are the ones that are most related to like family reunion. Pentecost, you know, because all nations was around there, and that's what it wants. Tabernacles is called the harvest for the world, when all nations got to come up to Jerusalem, all nations. Passover, the strangers that are among you, because it said strangers came out amongst us then. There was 12 tribes, so is it a 13 Israelite stranger tribe somewhere? Or are they of different nations that roll with us? So y'all, we got to keep that clear and in our mind, and don't let nobody add or take away from these scriptures and tell you that ain't supposed to be there. See, them paws and pen of the scribes put that in there. Well, if they did, the Lord say it's going to stay in there. Just keep rolling with what you see in there. Don't you take away from it. Let it roll like it is. And on that day, look, what we're going to do but stand like this. Lord, how can I get your word? We had some Negroes around here talking about it's been tampered with and what I'm supposed to do. Nothing. Come on in. You get into the kingdom. Right, yeah, right. If you think that's going to happen. Don't you fool yourself. It ain't it says every word of this is pure. Does pure mean tainted? No. If you say a pure virgin, do you talk about somebody heels woe down that been walking up and down Washington and running through a gangway with a man? Is that a pure virgin? Is it the same thing?
The cup telling
Or the wall is steado out, they just let overs now.
Churches are teaching Pentecost. The churches are teaching, I've heard already, the churches are teaching Pentecost for tomorrow. Now, even though they're teaching, which is what you're saying now, even though they're teaching, they don't want anything to do with any further than that. They're just teaching.
Right. Well, what they're doing is they're teaching after a religion called Pentecostal religion. Mm-hmm. So what that is a religion that was started by, I believe, Jack Parham. Yep. I'm thinking that's who it was back in the late 1800s, 1900s, that where they go into what's called speaking in tongues. And they use Acts 2nd chapter. They ain't got no clue about being the first fruit to the Most High. They're speaking a language. And then they go further and say, if you don't speak in tongues, you cannot be saved or receive the Holy Spirit. The only problem with that, all the scriptures say tongue is down on the list, not to forbade tongue, but it say this is the administration. First apostles, then prophets, then teachers, and then governments, and then helps, and then you get down to number 7, 8, and 9. It say then tongues. Then the very book that explains the gift of tongues, 1 Corinthians 14, say, greater is he that do what? than he that do what? Your doctrine has a problem. Let's get to the law. Real quick. Hold that. 1 Corinthians 14. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to get to the law. Yes, sir. 1 Corinthians 14. See, every gift has instructions so you don't use the gift against it. It tells you how it must be performed, just like we did the daughters of the Holy Fast. There must be 2 or at least 3 there, and one must interpret, or you got to hold it. We're not saying what you're saying, you're not speaking to God, but the rules must apply. You can't do it openly and there's no interpreter because you don't know what you're saying and we don't know either. It must be to edify the church. If it don't, and you saying, well, I can't do it now, then the Most High say, go in your closet, get in some serious praying. I will tell you what you said, and then you go tell them. But if you sit there and do it and nobody get the understanding of what was said, it was just air in the air, words in the air. You're speaking into the air like the script say. Real quick. But before you get the administration of the church, give me 1 Corinthians 12 and 29. Give me that, then we'll hit this 14 and 1. We'll jump right back, y'all, real quick. But we need to get some understanding, y'all. And we're going to see what happened on the day of Pentecost, when they received the gift of the Holy Spirit. But it's different from the religion, Pentecostal religion. Because they say, if you don't speak in tongues, it's impossible for you to be saved. There ain't a verse in this scripture to say that. It actually says the opposite. It's like Baptists. See, when they look through the Bible, John, what did he do? He was baptized. Okay, we'll be Baptists. Oh, okay, we'll be the first Baptists. I'm still waiting on the last Baptist church. So we'll be Baptists. So they say you can't deal with God unless you get water baptized. Well, y'all got a problem with Acts 19. It's a double baptism in there. When he asked what baptism y'all baptized, the baptism of John, he said, that's just to repentance. You got to receive the Holy Spirit. You got to put on you what Moses passed on to Joshua. The Spirit passed to him. You got to pass in 2nd Ezra when he said, the Spirit fell on me and I did these things. That was baptism. When they say they ran through the Red Sea, they was baptized in the Red Sea. Did any sandals get wet? No. So what baptism are you talking about that we're forced to be under? Not saying water baptism, we shouldn't be water baptism, but it's to the repentance of John. You're saying, I'm not going to do what I used to do. And then the Spirit will come on you if you walk that life and don't go back that way no more.
So that means you can't get dipped and go back to what
you can't get dipped and go back to what you're doing. Where we at? 1 Corinthians 12, 29. What does that say real quick? 28. Where y'all at? Everybody caught up? 1 Corinthians 12, 28. 27.
27. What's it say, Elisha?
Oh, okay. Now ye are the body of Christ.
Who are we the body of who?
Christ.
Uh-huh.
And members in particular.
Right.
And Yahweh has set some in the church, first apostles.
What he said first in the church?
Apostles.
Apostles are individuals who had a interaction with the Most High spiritually or a live situation, like Paul on the road to Damascus, like the 12 disciples walking on water, casting out the demon. Those became the 12 apostles. Mm-hmm. They elevated, they magna summa cum laude with the Most High because they had an intervention. That's why Paul said, yeah, the big 12, but he said, look, because I met them on the road to Damascus don't mean my apostleship is less than theirs. I just respect that they dealt with them one-on-one. But let's get it straight. The law is equal for all of us. And I ain't going to stand for no BS because y'all walk with him. He talked to me personally. He just chastised me and straightened me out, blinded me for a little while till I got my mind straight. But I'm still an apostle too. Y'all seen the miracles I just did over there, didn't you? When that snake bit me, I shook it off, and y'all said I was a god. I'm an apostle too, and then he screamed on Peter in Galatians 2:14. It wasn't because they were at odds about scripture. It was because Peter had just went through the rooftop deal, and when he saw Israelites coming, he used to hang with Gentiles, and when he see the Israelites, let me get out of here. So he like, oh, what you doing in front of them? Now you got other Israelites following you. How you gonna act like a Hebrew around the Gentiles, and then when you see other Hebrews, you scared and you go that way? He said, I confronted him to his face. But it wasn't no arguing about different doctrine. This is about bad behavior. When you had the vision, you back into this foolishness, Peter. Let's read some more. Where we at?
Verse 28.
Yeah.
And Yahweh has set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets.
Secondarily, y'all see the number order of this? Secondarily who?
Prophets. Thirdly, teachers.
That's what we do down here, third on the list. You think we got a problem with that? I mean, apostleship, that means we're going to have an intervention with the Lord. And hope he ain't say welcome home yet and we ain't ready. That ain't the apostleship we want. Where we at?
After that, miracles.
After that, what?
Miracles. Then gifts of healings, helps, governments, diversity of tongues.
What did it say after governments?
Diversity of tongues.
Count down the list what it say. Let's read some more though.
Are all apostles?
No.
Are all prophets?
No.
Are all teachers?
No.
All workers of miracles?
No.
Have all the gifts of healing?
No.
Do all speak with tongues?
No.
Do all interpret?
No.
But covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet show I unto you a more excellent way.
So what would be the best gift but to become a first fruit like the apostles? That's to seek that, how to become close with him, that where he come talk to you personally. The best gift, seek the best gift and I'll show you an excellent way. What's first on the list? Apostleship. When we're talking about gift, the fruits of the Spirit, that's where they come out and seek the best gift. The fruits of the Spirit, Galatians 5:22, peace, love, long suffering, y'all know. That's what you have to seek first. That best gift, and then all these work through that. Because if you don't, we're going to fall victim to 1 Corinthians 13, what he was saying. If I give to the poor and it's not about charity, you're like, well, ain't that charity giving to the poor? No, it's all what's on your mind.
One with a pure heart.
One with a pure heart. With your boys and see somebody, look, is that a hungry man over there? Hungry man! Hungry man!
Film me giving them something.
Get this. Go live on this, bro.
I got it. Film me giving them some lunch.
Go get yourself something to eat. I tell you what, get your girlfriend something to eat on me. You see, dog, that's how I get down. See, because, you know, when the Lord bless me, you know, I want to share a little bit of it like I do. See, what you are is like a dope dealer to sell heroin throughout the neighborhood and then give them a turkey on Thanksgiving. Yeah. What the hell you think you doing? Where we at?
That was it on that.
That's it?
Yeah, on that.
So let's get right to that 14:1 of that same 1 Corinthians. So we'll get the instructions and see what we have to follow after. And that 13, y'all read that 1 Corinthians 13 right there too when you get a chance. We just going down to 14. See, because Satan is trying to get you to disrespect your gift. Whitney Houston would sing no better if she knew she was an Israelite. Which they knew because they went over to Demona, her and Bobby Brown. And they talked to Benjamin Carter, they sang over there. So they knew they were Israelite, but they didn't understand that he was saying he was the Messiah. But I'm just saying, if she did know full out of whatever tribe she come from, her voice wasn't going to get no better. Floyd Mayweather ain't going to get no better skills if he find out he an Israelite. They just will understand why the skills are at that level. Right. That's the only difference. So what the devil comes in and he say, I need you to use that gift to sing sin. Will you do it for this amount? Oh, you need 2 more zeros behind that? Oh, yes, I will sing it for that. If loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. If you add some more zeros, I get, boy, look, Lil Nasty X, now he mad. Because BET won't give him an award for sliding down a pole onto giving the devil a lap dance in this video. He upset now, want to call BT out. That's how the devil do you. The devil just needed you to open up that behavior of Sodom and Gomorrah from Israel. Yeah. Oh, no.
Let's get this real quick, y'all. Let's get this so we can get back on there. We ain't got but a few minutes.
Go ahead.
1 Corinthians 14, verse 1.
What it say?
Follow after charity.
Follow after what?
Charity. And desire spiritual gifts.
Right.
But rather that ye may prophesy.
Y'all see this? Desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy, because that's the freebie in Revelation 1. He said, if you believe in Jesus Christ, he said, I'll give you the spirit of prophecy. You get that one off the top for true belief. You have to believe everything written. He said, I'll give you the gift of prophecy. I'm going to tell you when things happen. Not only that, I'm going to make an open book test for you. I'm going to tell you this what's going to happen. It's going to be like the days of Noah. When you see people doing this, when you see people doing that, when you see this happen, when you see this other fig tree, know that the door is there, and you're getting a prophecy in your mind. He said, well, don't do no false prophecy. Don't make up nothing out of your own mind. If you dream 3 cats jumped out a window on fire, that does not mean the second coming. We're into the plagues of wormwood. That's something you thought of.
You tell them just that.
Yeah. Right.
Oh no, what the hell I ain't laughing.
Right. Some spaghetti at 12:30 in the morning, trying to stay up and watch the news and eat heavy garlic bread and then lay down.
You got the book.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto Yahweh. For no man understandeth him. Howbeit in the spirit he speaketh mystery.
See, you can't stop there though, because that's a true statement. Sometimes you don't know what it's saying, because God can deal with you one-on-one like he did with Paul on the road to Damascus. It say the men heard the voice, but they didn't understand what it was saying.
Mm-hmm.
He understood clearly what it's saying. Right. Go to this man, he gonna rub some salve in your eye, you're gonna see again. Then we're gonna send you to this other brother to get your mind straight. They say we heard it, but we didn't see no man, and we couldn't even understand what the voice was. Let's read some more.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
But he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort.
Now it's balancing the two. Which gift is better? But he that prophesied do what?
Speaketh unto men to edification and exhortation and comfort.
Okay, what else to say?
He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifies himself. But he that prophesieth edifieth the church.
So now you see why prophecy is second on the list above speaking in tongues. Because once you tell somebody the second coming of Jesus Christ is going to happen right at this moment because of what's happening right here. You speaking in tongues will have nothing to do with that. The sky pop open right now. If you start just rattling out tongues, the sky crack right now, what is anybody going to understand? Nothing.
Run!
Unless it's edification. Let's read some more. What else to say, Liza?
Verse 5.
Yeah.
I would that you all spake with tongues.
Paul said, I wish all y'all can communicate directly with the Spirit word. I wish all y'all could. Go ahead.
But rather that ye prophesy.
But rather that you do what?
Prophesy. For greater is he that prophesieth than he that speaketh with tongues.
See, except what?
Except he interpret.
See, it's saying unless you interpret, prophecy gonna be up here, tongues gonna always be down here, unless you interpret what you saying so we can understand what God is trying to tell you.
Right. Because on one hand, you got worship and praise to the Father, but on the other, you got a message to the people. So the message from the Father to the people
is more important. Right. But tongues is not let out. It say, except you edify, and then you'll talk to the people like we get into Acts 2nd chapter on the day of Pentecost. They spoke to the people, and that's what the people responded. We heard the wonderful works of God in our languages.
So it is not just rambling on any kind of conversation, but it's prophesying in another language to a non-believer in that language.
For edification.
That's for edification.
Read on some more, Elijah.
What you got, Theo?
Go ahead, Theo.
What does coming in the Honda mean?
Well, I mean, that's a quick tongue. And see, anytime, look, you can't be coached the gift. The gift comes on you, or you born with it in the womb. But you can't coach anybody to speak in tongues. You can't just say Jesus, 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 Jesus. It ain't working. Look, Hosea ben Israel, our old soldier, we used to call him the oldest Hebrew in St. Louis, passed away a few years ago. He said he was in a Pentecost church. He said they was trying to get it. Just say, he said, I can't get it. And he said it was riding herd on them. Like they was like, look, you got to get it. So finally he said what he learned in Vietnam. Iti Bawa Hawasa. And we said, what that mean, Ozell? He said, your mother doesn't have any hair in her secret places. And he said, the preacher said, that is, you did it. Now, unless the preacher said what you telling me is the truth about my mama.
And how do you know?
How you know your mama? Yeah. No. So he said that released him and he got to go home. Because he said they was riding herd on him, boy. They was throwing water on him and fanning him and boy bringing out spices and herbs and rubbed across his forehead. And he just said, I got to go for broke. I got to get out of here. I got to get out for work tomorrow. Where we at?
You got a question.
Who got a question? Go ahead.
Sister in the chat got a question. She asks, is tongues a known language or tongues of angels like Pentecostal say it is?
Well, look, this the deal. Look, only way we can answer that is from Genesis to Revelation. Anybody that talked to an angel, did they understand the angel's language without having a crash course in angel language? When the angel came to Judges to Manoah and their mom and said, this what you, she went to her, she said, this what that man told me. When the angel went to Sarah, they're like, hold on. We need an interpreter. Ariel, what is the angel saying? No, because the angel spoke in their language.
You must have heard me talk about you.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, where we at, boy? Go ahead.
What come first?
6.
Where we at?
Verse 6.
6.
Hold it down, y'all. Hold it down, y'all. We're going to run through this real quick because we got a few more of the first fruits, and I want to get through that, how we ought to present ourselves. Go ahead.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you?
This the question.
Except I shall speak to you either by revelation, or by knowledge, or by prophesying, or by doctrine.
This is how I would profit, how you would profit off of me speaking in tongues. If it ain't by one of these, we wasting our breath. Mm-hmm. What else it say?
And even things without life giveth sound, whether pipe or harp. Except they give a distinction in the sound, how shall it be known what is pipe or harp? Right. For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself for the battle?
Look, when you go to the baseball game and the trumpet goes, dun, 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 what you say? Charge!
That ain't it.
Look,
I don't say nothing this way.
No, but look, I'm saying if you at the baseball game, and then you say, well, look here, y'all know I had a few of the dun-uns in there, but what do you say though? Charge. Everybody say charge. If the horn give a distinctive sound, if all of a sudden they rallying, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded, 2 strikes, and they stomping and they charging, and then you get ready for the, and then here comes somebody with an uncertain sound. Kenny G, come on.
With a flute.
Flute. The stomping gonna stop.
Like it's gonna be another hour.
Yeah, it'll be another hour. Look, who gonna say charge? You like, wait a minute.
Everybody gonna be looking around.
Flutie, Rudy. Well, you showing your age now, bro. Where we at? You're in verse 9, license.
All right. Okay. So likewise ye, except ye utter by the tongue words easy to be understood.
Words what?
Easy to be understood.
How
shall it be known what is spoken? For ye shall speak into the air.
Right.
There are, it may be, so many kinds of voices in the world, and none of them is without signification.
So we know there's different languages. We know, look, but most times you never see in the script where, and he spoke as a donkey. You always see beasts speak as men. Angels speak as men so we can get the understanding, but you never see it go reverse and say he spoke in the angel's language to the angel and they had a good conversation. No, it's so for our benefit that we get it. Like the beast, when Naaman riding on him, and the beast, the donkey spoke with a man's voice. The dumbass spoke. So, y'all, we have to get that understanding. They speak as men. We don't reverse ourselves to beasts. Right. Or if an angel come and speak, the conversation is clear. He coming to tell us what God told us. Told him to tell us. And it's always in the language. And I ain't never seen where they had to go get an interpreter, have to try to figure it out, what was said. The angel come in that town with that language. It ain't never been no other way different. So that's how I answer, is it angel's language? I'm just saying it must be either Hebrew or English, because we reading what the angel said, ain't we? Mm-hmm. Or somebody interpreted it for us, didn't they? Yeah, they because when the angel told Manoah, you are him. Both y'all gonna be Nazarite. You can't drink no wine. You can't eat no grapes. You can't do none of that either. Well, that angel's language been interpreted into English for us, ain't it? Yep. What you got, get?
Hey, shalom, fam. As it was eloquently stipulated in Hebrew, for you to be entertained by angels unaware.
Unaware. So if an angel came to your door and just knocked on your door, you like, hello? Who was that at the door? Say, well, you better get the hell on away from her. You on Mr. Gilmore's property talking that crazy noise. So to entertain them unawares, they gonna come in like, if you get into the book of Tobit, when the angel was sent, you go, sis? Be careful out there. When the angel was sent to Tobias, the angel Raphael, he came and he spoke to them in their language, and he kept asking them, where you from? He like, who your peeps? He like, man, I'm Azariah and them, I know them too. He, man, I know your peeps. Yo, that was a conversation. Right. It wasn't, they didn't have to get nobody rubbing and throwing coins down. Oh, he said, be prepared for tomorrow. No, you're conversating with them. That's what they are. They're called messengers. Mm-hmm. Let's read some more.
Verse
11.
Yeah. Therefore, if I know not the meaning of the voice, it shall be unto him that speaketh a barbarian, and he that speaketh shall be a barbarian unto me.
And y'all know what barbarians is. That's like Jethro Bodine to the 10th power. That's like Curly Stooges past him. A barbarian. Scratching your rear end, smell it and eat it.
What? No. What?
A barbarian. So if I speak in unknown language, that's what we are to each other. And what and then he dig in his rear end, and then you do. I guess that's what jabba means. Let's get some more. We gotta get caught up, y'all. Go ahead.
And basically, that becomes Babel.
And that's what happened at the Tower of Babel. That's why it's called the Tower of Babel. Vain babbling. He hit the language because they wouldn't come one language together. Well, they were one language together, but it was to do evil, not to do good. Right. And he said, no, I got to confuse y'all language, but they still languages, they had to go to different areas. But you learn the language. And the best way to learn language is through captivity. Y'all, we didn't know a lick of English because they wouldn't let us out to read. But if they say Bookie Bop and do that and point, and you look and you like, Bookie Bop. Bookie Bop! In Vietnam. And then you still stand there like you don't understand what they say. When they hit you across your rear end 6 times with that bamboo pole, you like, oh, that's Bookie Bop. Okay, what I'm supposed to do with Bookie Bop? You learn, the fastest way you learn a language is through captivity. Oh, yeah. Because you get punished for not knowing what they're saying. Right. Pow! Pick that up, move it over there. Huh? Pow! Okay, moving. Let's get some more, y'all. Where we at?
Verse 12.
Yeah.
Even so ye, for as much as ye are zealous for spiritual gifts, seek that ye may excel to the edifying of the church.
So that means whatever gift you got, you feel, well, I probably won't be good in that. I'll probably be good in helps in government. Let me seek that. I got a master's degree. I can get on the inside of this corporate company and find out what they're doing so I can share the wealth with y'all. If you can't get what you want, seek what fits your spirit. Don't try to get them all. Because with big responsibility big gifts come big what? Responsibility.
Much required when much is given.
Let's get some more of this, y'all.
John chapter 12. Verse 13.
Yeah.
Wherefore let him that speaketh in an unknown tongue pray that he may interpret.
Pray that he may do what?
Interpret.
So if you hear anybody say, I don't know what I'm supposed to say, then you're like, well, did you go pray that you may interpret? Mm-hmm. If they're like, what? You talking? Pastor said I was good.
Yeah, you're going to be good with him.
Hey, let's go. Go ahead. Yeah.
A great sacrament would be in the faith. Do not let corrupt communication proceed out of thy lips, and let it is edifying to the Godhead.
Absolutely. And what they're speaking of is just like if you talk about the Masons, if you talk about their dark secrets, the only time you can talk about it is for edification. You can't just be spewing Masonry doctrine. You know, not how to do it. You're exposing it. That's the only time you got to let corrupt communication out. You know the devil do this, don't you? Don't say that scared me. It's supposed to scare you. What's going to scare you more if you do it? Because you're going to be scared of the Lord then. So naturally, that don't mean you can't say a curse word. What it's saying is corrupt communication. Don't let it come out unless. So how does corrupt communication edify then? If this was about curse words, how would they ever edify? If you say, how do you edify someone calling somebody you ugly, black, MF, no good, scoundrels, stank dog? Where's the edification?
Curse
word. What is a curse word? What is a curse word? Well, the Bible explains what a curse word is. Like if he say, curse be the man that lieth with his father's wife. That's what Reuben did to Jacob. So there's a curse pronounced on that man. And the word for that is mother for unlawful carnal knowledge. And we have it the best of saying that you black mother. You's a bad mother. You's an ugly mother. But see, it came from a curse in the Bible. No, it's not okay. Unless we're edifying it now. See, because we're edifying it now. Look, sis. We edifying it. Y'all hold it down. We're edifying it. So that's why it's good to explain what it means we're edifying. We take a curse word that was the baddest behavior. 1 Corinthians 5 say it ain't even reported among the Gentiles that you have your father's wife. It's like Reuben took Bilhah, his little brother's mom, Jacob's wife. That's a curse word. You a mother, F-U-C-K. When they didn't know what to charge prostitutes with, they just type it in all capital, F-U-C-K, for unlawful carnal knowledge. Mean unlawful sexual intercourse. So when you're a mother for unlawful sexual intercourse, that's where that curse word came from. And that's where all curse words basically derive from on this earth. Now you get what's called a railer. That's someone that ties all those curse words into one sentence, and thus you have Cat Williams.
But I'm talking about nowadays when the word God says we're going to be held accountable for every idle word that proceeds out of our mouth.
Right.
Like
idle words.
Somebody calling somebody a bitch or an asshole and stuff like this because a bitch, somebody called me a bitch. I said, I'm not a female dog.
Well, you understand the word.
But the thing of it is that, for the times now.
No, but see what you did, you explained that for edifying, that bad word. They call you a female dog. You said, I'm not a female dog. So with edification, what you did, you let the corrupt communication come out. But it was for edifying. You edified the person that said it. They may have never known what it meant or why they were saying it. But you edified, I'm not a female. What you mean a female dog?
Now they got to go back.
Now they got to go back and look at it. See, if you don't understand where the word hoe came from, then you won't understand whore in the Bible. See what I'm talking about, the words like bastards in the Bible. Cursed be this person up to the generation, no bastard shall enter in. But if we say today, hey, look at this black bastard, is that a curse word? Yes, because it's saying their generation is like this.
I just know, because they think they catch you off, the enemy thinks he uses them to catch you off. What I just tell them, when people run out of intelligent ways of communicating,
they use curse words. Well, that may be the truth, but that's not telling the origin of it, or that's not making you help you understand this thing. Let no corrupt communicator come out of your mouth and sin and be for edification. So every time we say the word MF or what Reuben do, we explain that bad word for edification. So you know that's where that word came from. So Deuteronomy 27:27, Habakkuk 2:15, Leviticus 18, Leviticus 20, all of them run the same program. He that lied with his father's wife have slept with his mother, being his stepmother.
That time somebody get angry enough to curse you out, they ain't gonna listen to you.
Well, look, what if they say what if they say you looking good? You be dressed up at a party and they say you show up as a what? MF. So to us, you like, oh, well, these gators popping in, ain't they? This hat getting like this. See, so what we're talking about is the law. If you don't understand it from a law perspective, you're going to give us your opinion. And we can't deal with opinions. So we have to deal with what the law say this information is coming from. So you get clear about when you say certain things. Like if you say bastard, most church people say, cut that cussing out. But bastard in the Bible, lie in the Bible. All these words that came from the Bible. It's just how do you use them? Do you use them to explain unrighteousness and put it back in its righteous position? Or do you take it up as a practice to make yourself look tough? Shaft used them words a different way. Shaft was a bad what? So, and he could fly through windows. He could track down criminals and bust their skull to the white meat. Shaft was a bad mother. But see, if you don't, that was the part right there. Shut your mouth.
It's talking
about Shaft. Shaft, if you look at it, so you're saying he's the baddest man on the planet that have sex with his father's wife. If you don't understand that from the law, then you'll be spinning your wheels trying to explain it. It has an origin. And it's a curse for a man to do that. Cursed be the man that uncovered his father's brother's nakedness. Who is your father's brother? And if you cover under his neck, then the next verse say, he shall not approach unto his aunt. That means you can't go, that's your uncle's woman. That's his nakedness. Nobody's supposed to see that but him. You can't uncover your uncle's nakedness. It's not him.
What they are being Moses.
Because if you stripping the clothes off of your uncle, it's some more trouble going on.
That's another label.
Boy, look here. Let's get some more, y'all. We get behind. Let's get this caught up. Real quick, y'all. We got to get this caught up. Yeah, that's another one. That's a whole nother title then. That's Romans 1:20 then. Where we at?
Verse 12.
Yeah.
14. For if I pray in an unknown tongue, my spirit prays.
What spread?
My spirit
prays.
But my understanding is unfruitful.
But my what?
Understanding is unfruitful.
See, we can't have, understand what it says. If I pray in an unknown tongue and I don't have no edification, then it's unfruitful. And when we supposed to be what? Fruitful and do what? Not unfruitful. So this is what it's telling you. Make sure if you hear a voice in your ear, you go to the Lord. What was that voice, Lord? Was that you or was that the devil?
And of course, in the BIBLE, the basic instruction before leaving that, he said, with all ye get ye some understanding.
That's what you have to get. Verse 15.
What is it then? I will pray with the Spirit.
What will I do?
Pray with the Spirit.
See the responsibility coming back on us now? Go ahead. What else will I do?
And I will pray with the understanding also.
What will I pray with? What the also?
Understanding also.
So see, I'm getting the double up. I'm going to find out what was said to me. I'm going to find out before I reveal it to somebody else. What else to say?
I will sing with the Spirit. And I will sing with the understanding also. Else when thou shalt bless with the Spirit, how shall he that occupieth the room of the unlearned say amen? At the giving of thanks, seeing he understandeth not what thou sayest.
If you say coming in 100, coming in 100, coming in 100. See, speaking in tongues, amen. Don't nobody know what was said. All we think is a run on Hondas. They're going at some good prices.
There it is, Theo.
Where else we see it? Go ahead. What does it say, Elisha?
For thou verily givest thanks well, but the other is not edified.
But the other is what?
Not edified.
You edify, but not the individual you're speaking to, because they don't know what you're talking about. Let's read some more.
I thank my Elohim. I speak with tongues more than ye all. Yet in the church I had rather speak 5 words with my understanding.
Where he speaking at in the
5
what?
words of my understanding in the church.
In the church. Go ahead.
5 words with my understanding, that by my voice I might teach others also, than 10,000 words in an unknown tongue.
He like, look, if 2 or 5 words to get the understanding of Deuteronomy 16 versus 10 million tongues in an unknown language, don't nobody know what the hell I'm saying. I'd rather say them 5 words that y'all may understand what the deal is.
Fruitful and unfruitful.
Fruitful and unfruitful. Go ahead. What else to say, bro?
Brethren,
yeah.
Be not children in understanding. Howbeit in malice be ye children, but in understanding be mean. In the law it is written.
Where is written at?
In the law. With men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people.
He say that's in the law. Is that the truth or not? Yes. Go ahead.
And yet for all that they will not hear me, saith the Most High. Wherefore tongues are for a sign, not to them that believe, but to them that believe not.
See, that's what tongues are for them that believe not, because it's for other nations that don't believe our God who it is. So when you speak in their language, they have no choice. They like the wonderful works of God coming out. I heard everything you say. And most Gideon Bibles, when you look them up, everywhere in the Bible, it speaks for the Lord. John 3:16 in those Gideon Bible is in every language on earth. It lists it, and I asked, and I did the test, because I had a Vietnamese guy working with me. I never forget him, knocked on. And I said, what do this say right here? It was Vietnamese. God, love. If you love God, you live forever. Yeah, like live forever, like it's a done deal. Look, like that's what it said. That verse means if you believe in him like that, live forever. But he read it in Vietnamese. Say it was clear understanding. So he edified me what I was seeing in English. The same thing. He read it in Vietnamese, and it wasn't no practice thing. I just got out of the blue, knocked on. What's up? And I'm telling you, man, I thought this was Bruce Lee's granddad. You remember knock? Yeah. But one time I told him my neck was sore, and he was doing me like this. And he was like, where right there? I said, yeah, I just don't know. I'm like, that ain't doing nothing. He said, slap! I said, hey.
For those who are, so those of us out, but not this, those of us who come out of churches and religion that we were taught since we were children, this is the first time some of us, if you will, have really gotten that clarification.
Right.
Because it's been taught and pounded in some of us for years that this is what you do, speak in tongues and
right.
Line. So now that you're making it clear, this gives it a whole new meaning now. Right. So when we did all the praying in tongues, and you all know my father's a pastor. Right. And so now this means something, a whole new
Well, and like I say, with understanding. That's the difference. Because he could have spoken in tongues. It's the fact that he do step 2 or 3, or did he hold it to himself? Yes. See, so we're not saying you're not doing it. We're just saying, do you follow the rules afterward? And look, the rules finna get even clearer. Go ahead, Elijah. It's gonna really explain. Hold on, get it. We gotta roll through here. Okay. Go ahead. 21.
21.
Yeah.
In the law it is written, with men of other tongues and other lips will I speak unto this people. Yet for all that they will not hear me, saith the Most High. Wherefore tongues are for a sign, not to them that believe, but to them that believe not. But prophesying.
But what?
Prophesying.
See how it keeps comparing the two, and it's telling you which one you should seek more than the other, because it's easier to explain prophesying than speaking in tongues that may require you to go an extra step to get the understanding of what to do. Prophecy is what it is. I saw in a night vision down there at the Sears building. They was having a good time talking about the Feast of Pentecost. Need to tighten up in a few areas. Okay, that's fine. But you saw that, and you can prophesy to some people. But when you just say some words and everybody looking around, you know what he's saying? You know what he's saying? It's like the cousin that say, you know, you can call me Bominicious. Bominicious. Hey, Bominicious. And then you find out what he was really saying. You can call me by my initials. LC.
Bominicious.
Go ahead, where we at? That's said entertainer, that boy. That's St. Louis boy. Go ahead, where we at?
Verse 23.
Yeah.
If therefore the whole church be come together in one place.
The whole church is in one place right now.
And all speak with tongues. And there come in those that are unlearned or unbelievers. Will they not say that ye are all mad?
That we are all what?
Mad.
Because ain't nobody learning. Everybody here speaking a different language. Vietnamese, Chinese, Spanish, English, Hebrew, Greek, and don't nobody unlearned come in here and say, what is going on in here? Let's read some more. Babel.
But if all prophesy.
But if all do what?
Prophesy. And there come in one that believeth not, or one unlearned, he is convinced of all. He is judged of all. And thus are the secrets of his heart made manifest. And so falling down on his face, he will worship Elohim and report that Elohim is in you of a truth.
So prophecy made him say that. Go ahead, what else to say?
How is it then, brethren, when you come together, every one of you have a song, has a doctrine, has a tongue, has a revelation, has an interpretation? Let all things be done unto edifying.
Let all things be done unto what?
Edifying.
You have to make sure somebody get the understanding of what you talk about. You can't talk over their head. You can't be talking about no amino acids and all this foolishness going over their head. Somebody out in the universe looking down on you, you're praying to them.
Words easy to be understood.
Words easy to be understood is what we're supposed to say. Right. Simple words. Right. He said the law is not grievous. Let's read some more. What else to say?
If any man speak in an unknown tongue.
Here go the rules.
Let it be by 2, or at the most by 3. And that by course, and let one interpret.
See, so that's why when he sent them out 2 by 2, at the most 3, when they went to a town, one would speak their language, the other one was to be an interpreter. It's just like now, if somebody calls, is there a Spanish interpreter? They put somebody on the line that can communicate with you. It's not nothing way from outer space. Let's read some more.
But if there be no interpreter.
But if there be what?
No interpreter. Let him keep silence in the church.
In the church. Right. You can't do it in here. And there's no interpreter here. And everybody in here speaks English. What? So you really gonna have to have an interpreter. Let's read some more. And look, these men talking about they speaking Hebrew. They ain't speaking no Hebrew. The closest thing you could be speaking is chopped up Hebrew, and most of these men are using phrases.
You in Babylon think you speaking true Hebrew.
You speaking Yiddish.
Well, look, we still, even if it have bits and pieces of Hebrew in there, we're not saying sentences. I'm talking about like the game on tonight. Say what the announcer is saying, word for word, fluent like this. I can say Bah Hashem Hamashamak.
You can't say
hold on, I can't even say that. Mount up, Yasharala, boy. You know that still ain't it. What it say? What it say then?
Bah Hashem Yahawashai.
No, I'm talking about that we got next.
Oh, we got next.
We got next. Yasharala, mount up, boy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But see, those are phrases. But I'm talking about a conversation. I'm talking about a conversation. You speak Hebrew, let's talk a conversation, and then interpret it out.
Right. Like the boy that Edomite put the boys on front line on what was that?
Going down. Had the one West out there. He said, y'all speak Hebrew? And he rattled off some Hebrew. Boy, they was looking at each other, man, looking like, did you bring the book? Did you bring the interpretation of the book? They went on to some old cussing, wild cussing.
Yeah.
He rattled off some Hebrew on them, and they were standing there looking like.
Because he asked them, what did I say?
What did I say? And they looking like, shit.
What did I just say? They couldn't tell us.
Boy. Let's finish this out, like, so we can get right back to these last few scripts. What verse you in?
25.
Yeah. No, you on the other page. You on verse 28. Yeah.
28. But if there be no interpreter, let him keep silence in the church and let him speak to himself and to Yahweh.
So we're never saying that you didn't speak in tongues. What we're saying is you must follow the rules, or Satan is going to make you I guess you say, disrespect your gift. Because he's got you doing it out of turn, which causes confusion in, and then the gift of God is looked at like madness now. Right. Because you didn't follow the rule. What else to say, like?
Let the prophet speak, 2 or 3, and let the other judge. If anything be revealed to another that sitteth by, let the first hold his peace. For ye may all prophesy one by one, that all may learn, and all may be comforted. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophet.
Right.
For Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints.
Right.
Let your women keep silence in the church, for it is not permitted unto them to speak. But they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home.
So the problem would be if they ain't got no husband at home, who they ask? Right. And if they ain't married, who they ask?
The pastor. Or where?
The Most High, man. Christ is the
you just got here. You ain't been here, but look, hold on. You ain't been here but 15 minutes. It ain't that time yet for you. You got to.
I'm talking about when you want to come on and say the pastor said.
Oh, okay. Well, make
That's what I'm talking about.
Look,
but all you get the other day.
You were speaking in tongues then.
The pastor said you should do me better.
Okay. Now we got it. You cleared up. You edified that strange tongue. that late tongue in the building. Go ahead. Where we at? Go ahead, bro.
35.
Verse 32. Go ahead. What it say?
And the spirit
of the prophets are subject to the prophet. Right. So when you read Revelation 1, when you believe in the Messiah, he gives you the gift of prophecy. So that's subject to us. We're not prophets, but we prophesy. So a prophet gets the word and he tell everybody. That's a prophet. So their spirit's subject to them to come and tell us, and then we prophesy, meaning that we take the revelation you were given and share it. That means we're prophesying. We're not prophets. We just reading what the prophets wrote. You understand what I'm saying? So the spirits are subject to Ezekiel, Jeremiah, all of those prophets. David, and so on, Moses and Abraham. We got to roll, get it. What you got in your mind?
No. And this is what you just said, which is eloquently stipulated by Christ in Matthew chapter 28, the last verse. Teach all nations. I don't have it, but we know what the last teaching all day, baptizing them. Teach all child from the rooftop.
Okay, we got to get it. We understand. We was getting there. We're going to go there.
Verse 35.
Yeah.
And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it is a shame for women to speak in the church. What? Came the word of Yahweh out from you? or came it unto you only? If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, let him acknowledge that the things that I write unto you are the commandments of the Elohim. But if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophesy, and forbid not to speak with tongues. Let all things be done decently and in order.
So it said covet to prophesy, not to speak in tongues. But if you do, let things be decently in order. You got to get that interpreter situation together. But some will read that, let the women keep silence. But read verse 28 again. Tell me if that is male or female. Go ahead.
But if there be no interpreter, let him keep
Let
silence.
him do what?
Let him keep silence in the church.
See, so it's a time when a man have to shut up in the church.
Yeah.
If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't open your mouth in the church if it ain't about edifying or prophesying. You wasting breath up in there. Pulling that trick doctrine and say, let him keep silence in the church. And this is all about order and structure. The only reason it said that about the woman is because it has to be structured.
Right.
And you can't have her usurping authority. And I mean, where it puts her in a role that where men start going to her and sitting at her kneecaps. And trying to learn. Not saying that this is taken away from Priscilla and Aquila because they was a tag team going out. But she understood when to speak. No, baby, you talking about that Isaiah 52. What he need? Give him that Isaiah 52. You right, baby, I got that. Isaiah 52. She's his helper.
Right.
But if you shut them down, then you're going to run with your program. It's why they in the program of the mind that they're in. All they know, shut up, heifer. What's your name? Shut up, heifer. That's my first and last name. Go on a job interview. And who we interview today? Shut up, shut up. Heifer's my last name.
Oh, no.
Where we at, y'all? Let's get caught up.
That's it on that.
That's it on that, y'all. Let's get right back to it. Where we at? 2 Corinthians, and then we're going to get right to these three, y'all. We'll close out. 2 Corinthians 8. 2 Chronicles 8. And y'all, this is Solomon, and this is what we're talking about of why these feast days are so important. These major three that we always, it puts us together as a group, how to live together in harmony. Y'all, if you fighting at a feast day, it's some major league problems going on. Right. If there's strife at a feast day, there's major league problems going on. It's like just in the Daily Mail the other day, 3 people got shot at the grave site. The boy got killed by the police. Who rolled down and killed 3 people? And look, and grandmama just got killed at the graduation. And what's that college in New Orleans? Xavier, whatever it is.
Yeah.
A grandmother got killed at the graduation. Who bringing a pistol to the graduation?
You heard about all them employees getting arrested at the McDonald's pulling out AR-15s on the customers in the drive-thru?
See, they taking open carry too far.
Man, these ungodly groups
Take
working at McDonald's
to McDonald's.
Got an AR-15 in McDonald's. He working in the drive-thru. Lady come in the drive-thru. They give her the wrong order. Give her the wrong order and the wrong change. So she complained. Look at the window like, oh, hell with you. He go get his chocolate.
And told her to move on.
And come to the window, the drive-thru, and point the AR. It's her daughter, and her baby in the car. 2 women and a child in the car. He aimed the AR-15 at the lady in the drive-thru. They call the police. They lock all the doors. Police can't get in, so they have to call the general manager. General manager come down, open the door. They lock everybody up.
Found the guns.
Find them. These Negroes walking around in McDonald's with strapped on in the McDonald's.
Taking on to carry, you know what they call it, open carry too far. Look, when it says freedom of speech, it don't mean you can holler fire in a crowded theater, because people gonna get trampled to death. You don't have the freedom to do that, just holler, it's a fire! And there's 3,000 people in a close spot. Everybody trying to get through that door.
That's why you can't holler bomb or nothing like that in the airport.
Right.
And look, you can't say, I have freedom to, my weapons, I have the right to bear arms. Nobody in here can go and buy rocket launchers as a just, this what I'm bearing arms with. I wish somebody would try to pull a home invasion on me. You just can't go buy a tank. I'm protecting my castle. I'm going to stand my ground. And you sitting in an Abrams tank. That ain't what it means. You're going over the liberty, and these youngsters, that's what they want to do. They locked all of them up, and look, McDonald's, they'll never have to worry about buying hamburgers or nothing else again. Your employee threatened the life of us. Yeah, y'all understand what we saying? Let's get some more of this, y'all. Y'all ain't got a few more, y'all. Let's get it. Second Chronicles 8:1. Let's hurry up and get this, y'all. We're going to close on out.
It's on Zed, man. No, it went past Elijah. Oh, I read one.
Now, too.
Yeah. Let's get it, y'all. Come on, y'all. We got to roll. We ain't got but 20 minutes.
2 Chronicles chapter 8, verse 1.
What it say?
And it came to pass at the end of 20 years,
right,
wherein Solomon had built the house of the Most High and his own house, that the cities which Hiram had restored to Solomon, Solomon built them and caused the children of Israel to dwell there. And Solomon went to Hamazobah and prevailed against it. And he built Tadmor in the wilderness, and all the store cities which he built in Hamath. Also he built Beth-Horon, the upper, and Beth-Horon, the nether, fenced city with walls, gates, and bars. See, this is why you should have been reading this.
Okay, I'll take it.
Go ahead.
You want me to take?
Yeah, trying to pronounce that, boy. Look here. He's like, look, we just got through with that tongue situation. Go ahead.
I'll pick it up for you.
Yeah.
Verse 6.
Yeah.
And Baalath and all the store cities that Solomon had, and all the chariot cities, and the cities of the horsemen, and all that Solomon desired to build in Jerusalem and in Lebanon, and throughout all the land of his dominion. As for all the people that were left of the Hittites.
What was they left at? What city are we in right now? Jerusalem. Who left in the city?
The Hittites.
Go ahead.
And the Amorites. And the Perizzites. And the Hivites. And the Jebusites, which were not of Israel.
Which were not of who?
Israel.
See, y'all, this is what we have to always remember. It's always going to be people of other nations around, or we going to be around other people. It's the only way the law can go forth and the light can go to every nation. We've never been in anywhere where we dominated a whole land by ourselves, ever. Even when we was running this kingdom. Solomon for 40 years. He says a few of them left over. What else to say, bro?
Verse 8.
Yeah.
But of their children who were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel consumed not.
What did the children of Israel do?
Consumed not. Them did Solomon make to pay tribute until this day.
So they pay taxes, yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
But of the children of Israel did Solomon make no servants for his work.
So these Negroes out of New York got them Hebrews on the corner, got them working, talking about triple tights and getting all the money, working on the oil table all day. This what they were doing, opposite of what we supposed to be doing. And then don't want no other nations around. What that mean they gonna do to the Israelites? They gonna be your servants, your own people.
Right.
Go ahead, bro. What else to say?
But they were men of war, and chief of his captains, and captains of his chariots and horsemen. And these were the chief of the King Solomon's officers, even 250.
How many?
250 that bear rule over the people.
Right.
And Solomon brought up the daughter of Pharaoh out of the city of David, unto the house that he had built for her.
What he built for her?
He built a house for her. For he said, my wife shall not dwell in the house of David, king of Israel, but the places are holy, whereunto the ark of the Most High is come.
So this is Solomon in the kingdom, married to Pharaoh's daughter, built her a house because he know the rules. Can't stack them all in one. But why is she in the kingdom doing Solomon's kingdom and it's Pharaoh's daughter? Married and ain't no law being broke. Let's read some more. What else it say?
Verse 12.
Yeah.
Then Solomon offered burnt offerings unto the Most High on the altar of the Most High, which he had built before the porch.
So you see now he's offering a first fruit offering after everything been completed. Everything is straight. We in peacetime. We got the run of Jerusalem. Offer a sweet savor. Thank you, Lord, for what you did. Noah did the same thing coming off of the Mount Ararat. It say Noah sacrifice for what? Sin is gone. If you keep teaching people sacrifices about sin, sin is gone. Ain't no more sin. It's only 8 people on the ark. Sin has been drowned in the flood. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? What is this sacrifice for then? But to tell the Lord, thank you for us surviving 8 people. Let's read some more.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
Even after a certain rate every day, offering according to the commandment of Moses on the Sabbaths and on the new moon and on the solemn feast, 3 times in a year.
How many times?
3 times in a year, even in the feast of unleavened bread and in the feast of weeks and in the feast of tabernacles.
So y'all read the rest of that, how it was set up, but you see them big 3 still on the table? Those 3, y'all, involve us coming together as a people, seeing if we can, y'all, if we can't do a weekend, how in whose name are we going to do 1,000 years together? We can't do a weekend if you fighting and brawling on a 3-day feast. You just got the weekend and you scrapping, gunshots going off and bottles being hit upside the head. How you going to do 1,000 years? Mm-hmm. Let's finish these up real quick. Yeah.
That's why the Most High said, do not let the sun go down on your wrath.
Absolutely, bro.
I mean, just flush it down, start a new day with the Most High's permission.
Absolutely, bro. Joel chapter 2. Y'all, we're going to roll through these, y'all, and then we're going to get the first fruits of the Most High, and we're going to close out. Because he's the ultimate first fruit back to the Father. He was unblemished. See, he couldn't, and see, this is why people think, well, that's not a salvational issue. Joseph is the daddy. It is too. How you going to offer a first fruit with a cleft foot? Look, high priest couldn't even come in there. If he had a flat nose, if he had a cleft foot, he couldn't be a high priest. And now you're saying the Messiah, he still can be the priest promised, the king promised, and his daddy had her without the public knowing they were married? And you let this come out of your mouth that it's not a salvational issue?
How is that not a salvation?
But boy, look here.
He is salvation, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. But look, still, just to think from that perspective that you would trust an unblemished lamb, a physical lamb, and you look at the Messiah, he like her. But that's the wicked leaders that did that.
That's like fruit off the ground.
Them double-tongued Pharisees that calling themselves Israelites that teach people that so that they can elevate themselves. That's why they're saying triple high priest in this, because they got you already. You already done dumbed the Messiah down to a man like me and you, and he never sinned once.
But they were saying that about Christ back when he was on the earth.
Yeah.
They said he was born of fornication.
Yeah.
That's what the Pharisees and Sadducees said.
Somebody typed in his chat earlier, and which he got blocked, that he would have had some type of advantage when he was here if he was unblemished.
Yeah, the
He
sisters.
did have a
He did have a message. It's called signs. Look, not only this, it's called signs and wonders.
Well, it's good y'all blocked.
Right. It's called signs and wonders. The He gonna do what Moses did. Signs and wonders.
Okay, yeah, that was.
Get Benjamin walking. Benjamin can't even walk on his bathtub water. I mean, when they've been to children's hospital and raised the dead, when they have just laid hands and got rid of cancer, that's what substantiates his power and his being. Signs and wonders. That's what was told would follow him. This how you gonna know he the Messiah. What do you mean he ain't did nothing. He just say he sinned. He didn't. Miss me with that. Sin is what?
Transgression of the law.
You name somebody else ain't done it.
Proverbs 30:4 is the Messiah.
Yes.
His son's name thou's can tell. If it's Israel, the Most High would have made it a mystery. If thou's can tell.
Look, if it's Israel, they still have to be without sin.
Go further down.
They still have to be without sin for Israel to be the Messiah. Y'all hold down. Y'all take that to the side, boy. Let's get it, y'all. Come on, Acts Joel chapter 2, 28. Y'all, we're going to close on out. I got these last two. Joel chapter 2, 28.
He got it.
Joel chapter 2, verse 28.
Hold it down, y'all. Let's get on now. Y'all, we getting into what we at now, y'all, because the Messiah told us this what we do. We go out, teach Israel first, to the Jew first, then the Gentile, teaching all nations about this gospel, because all nations going to be involved with it. Whether Jew or Gentile, whether master or servant, all nations going to be involved with this, because it was like that at the beginning. So let's get it. Where we at?
Joel chapter 2, verse 28.
Yeah.
And it shall come to pass.
It shall do what?
It shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh.
On what kind of flesh?
All flesh.
No, just Israel only.
All flesh.
Uh-huh.
And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy.
What shall they do?
Prophesy.
They shall speak in tongues.
They shall prophesy.
Uh-huh.
Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions.
So this the deal. Old men gonna dream dreams. And look like so we gotta be careful eating no spicy foods late at night, because the dreams ain't gonna be the truth.
I ain't no old man.
Okay, boy, look at that's what. I was getting that clear. You know, we was called.
Don't say we.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to get there, though, Dan.
Okay, so what you'll do is you'll have visions then. Let's get it. Young man will see visions. Go ahead.
And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit.
And look at this. He's pouring out the spirit on what we would consider the less, the help. On handmaids and servants. They spirit still come on them if you do right. Y'all see how he go from the Lord. He don't most high is no respecter of persons. Go ahead. What else to say?
Verse 30.
Yeah.
And I will show wonders in the heavens and the earth. In the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Most High come.
Right.
And it shall come to pass whosoever shall call on the name of the Most High shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Most High has said, and in the remnant.
In the who?
In the remnant, whom the Most High shall call.
See, in the remnant, who he shall call. Not everybody. See, this don't enclose you, because you know you Israel. Oh, I know I'm Israel. I get my head. Your head just got cut off. You got nothing coming.
He said the children of the kingdom shall be thrust in the outer.
Boy, look here. Let's get to see if this promise came to pass, and it says it's going to be at the last day. Acts chapter 2, 1 through 4. Acts 20, 16, y'all. Then we're going to hit them 144,000 and the Messiah being the first fruit. 1 Corinthians 15, we're going to close on that.
Acts chapter 2.
Acts 20 and 16, because we're going to see that Paul kept these feast days because most churches won't even keep the Feast of Pentecost like it's written. They just make it up toward their religion. We're going to go to 1 Corinthians 15, 20 to 23 to tie it all in. But we got two revelations on the 144,000 first fruits. Huh?
Acts chapter 2, 1 through 4, I think he said.
Yeah, Acts 20 and 16. And then we're gonna hit just a couple more, y'all. We're gonna close on out. Let's get that Acts 2, 1 through 4. Who got it?
Acts chapter 2, verse 1.
Hold on. I hear a few pages flipping. Yeah.
That's why I said, hold on.
That's why you hear them so quick.
That's why I do what? I'm not going in, bro.
Acts chapter 2, verse 1.
Yeah.
And when the day of Pentecost was fully come.
When the day of what?
Pentecost was fully come.
See, because when you read chapter 1, it's going to tell you when it's going to come. He was gone 10 days, came back and said it'll be 40 days, that'll be the 50 days. And when the day was fully come, we on the 50th day. Go ahead.
And when the day of Pentecost was fully come, they were all with one accord in one place.
Hold on. What were they in one what?
Oh, with one accord.
What does one accord mean, y'all? See, the only way the Spirit gonna drop down on you is everybody is on the same page. You can't have nobody with different doctrines just because they know they Hebrew. You have to be on one accord. That's why when we pray in here, we say me and uncovered women, but it say, but any contentions, it say, we don't teach such things. Look, we're not going to argue about that is what it means in 1 Corinthians 11. If you got a problem with women covering and men covering within the assembly with praying and prophesying, then you go out there.
How you spell it?
D-E-D-A-D-O. Dead or dope. Go that way while we get in our one accord. Then you can come back in and see what we talking about. What you got to get it?
And it tells us, do not be unevenly yoked
with non-believers.
All right. Okay. Come on. Yeah. You right.
Too much again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Come on. We got to roll. Come on, man. Say, hold it down. Now hold it down. Get it.
Yeah. Come on, man. Slow it up, bro.
You're doing too much.
Let's get it.
Where was I?
2 and 2.
Verse 2. And suddenly there came a sound from heaven.
What did it come from?
A sound from heaven. As of a rushing mighty wind. And it filled all the houses where they were sitting. And there appeared unto them cloven tongues like as a fire. And it set upon each of them. And they were all filled with the Holy Ghost.
What were they filled with?
With the Holy Ghost. And began to speak with other tongues, as the Spirit gave them utterance. Oh, you want to keep moving?
Yeah, keep on going.
And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews.
So at Jerusalem was dwelling Jews. Go ahead.
Devout men. Out of every nation under heaven. Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born? See, now, if you say all of these were Israelites, and these just Israelite devout Jews, it don't work because you're talking about in our tongue. I don't care where we at in America, what we say our tongue is. Hebrew, don't we? What language you talking about? That'd be like us promoting English. We hear you speaking the wonderful words of God in our tongue, English. Technically, yes, but if you're talking about is all Israel, you ain't talking about no other tongue. And you ain't gonna glorify no other tongue, and everything you out of your mouth is from in the Hebrew, it say this. Y'all understand what we're saying? So as we read further, you're gonna see again, you know, who it's talking to. Go ahead, let's read on down. Verse 9. Yeah. Parthians and Medes and Elamites, and the dwellers in Mesopotamia, and in Judea, and Cappadocia, in Pontus, and Asia, Phrygia, and
Pamphylia,
in Egypt, and in the parts of
Libya,
about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes.
Jews and proselytes. Hold on. You can't be converted into your own doctrine. It don't make sense. A proselyte is one brought into another's doctrine. If we Israel, and these are devout men, like you're saying, it's all Israelite. If we devout, I can't be a proselyte. You can't reintroduce me to my own self.
That's crazy.
And I'm a devout Jew? That's like them saying Cornelius, and it tells you everything. He's a devout Jew. All the nations of the Jews is talking about him. But he don't know he Israel. So what are all the nations of the Jews doing? Shh, Cornelius is really good. Shh, but don't tell him he an Israelite. He a Gentile wayward.
So Peter wasn't going to tell him when he came to see him. He kept it secret too.
He kept it secret too. By the way, ain't mentioned his tribe yet.
Well, then that would be exercising lordship over his brethren.
Boy, look here. What else to say?
Verse 11.
Yeah.
Crates and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful works of Yahweh. And they were all amazed and were in doubt, saying one to another, what meaneth this? Others mocking said, these men are full of new wine.
Right.
But Peter, standing up with the 11, lifted up his voice and said unto them, ye men of Judea, and all ye that dwell in Jerusalem, be this known unto you, and hearken to my words.
Listen up.
For these are not drunken.
What are they not?
For these are not drunken, as ye suppose, seeing it is but the third hour of the day.
He said it's 9 a.m. It's 9 a.m. Y'all hearing babbling talk like we done got past the sun, and you still drinking, you still behind the liquor store, you still getting changed, and it's saying it's but the third hour of the day. It's 9 a.m. Well, technically 8 a.m. to 8:59. The 9 o'clock will be in the fourth hour of the day, 9 a.m. But we're into the 9th hour of the day. It's too early. The liquor store don't even open up to what time around here?
Depending on what time, what neighborhood you in.
Some neighborhoods they open at
6 in the morning in the hood. Yeah. In the hood, they open up 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning. But still 6 in the morning.
And all these wine bibbers know.
Hey, look, we waiting on 6.
What they hollering on time?
Yeah.
Mine's opening.
Yeah. But look, technically, you won't be drunk that early in the morning because the day is just getting started.
It's just getting started.
You usually be after that.
You that drunk that early, you probably ain't went to sleep.
Right. And you ain't going to work.
Right.
Ain't going to be no work done. Continue reading, y'all. We got to get out of here. Come on, y'all. Let's catch these up real quick.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel.
See, we just read that about Joel in chapter 2, verse 28. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass in the last days, says Yahweh, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy.
See, and when you read the rest of that, all of it, when the Spirit is poured out, they're prophesying. Whether even if you speak in tongues, there must be prophesying behind it. So you see where the two come in, because when we start at 1 Corinthians 14, it start out edifying and prophecy. The last verse, it ends with prophecy. But it's speaking about tongues. If you speak in tongues, we got to know what you're talking about. We got to know what the Lord just told you. We're not saying you ain't. We just need to know. And if you don't know, you got to hit the closet. We need an answer. You could be telling us anything. You know, a drunk driver going to drive through the Sears building and drive down them steps and kill all y'all.
But look there. You don't have to be cold with it. Navigate all these pillars.
Boy, look here. Look here. On Lillian and Mimica is a call on the house. It flew down the street, hit the curb, and it's on the house. So it ain't impossible.
Hey, that house been
Not right now.
4 or 5 times.
But y'all can look it up.
That house been hit
Now they
4 or
got
5
big blocks in front of it.
There was a car landed on the corner house on our street, on the porch.
See, they got so many bricks out there now. It look like
and landed on the porch. Headlights hanging, geared out from the front door.
and see, and that's when they had to just put blocks out there. It look like stone heads.
Yeah, they got big old stones in front. You gonna hit them stones now.
Let's run these last two, y'all. Let's run these last two. We're going to hold Acts 20:16. Y'all read that. That's just Paul saying he's going back to do the Feast of the Feast of Shavuot, Feast of Weeks, Acts 20:16. But we want to get to this last three real quick. Revelation 7 and just 144,000. Then Revelation 14 is going to explain it. And you'll understand the first fruits coming from the earth. Y'all, and then we'll finish off with 1 Corinthians 15. Y'all, the Messiah is the ultimate first fruit, y'all. We got to offer ourselves a clean temple, y'all. Y'all, because if you believe he came in that way, then you ain't going to do your best. You be like, you tainted, why should I come in like that? Revelation 7, y'all. Give me right where the 144 at. Shabbat shalom, Imam. Most High willing, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we good, Imam.
I'll call you, Mom.
No, we just gonna read the first few, and then everybody read on. We're gonna skip down to verse 14, verse 13. Yeah, we're gonna read one, and I just want to y'all read verse 4. I just want you to read the first coming up, so we know who this is. 7 and 1.
Revelations chapter 7, verse 1.
What it say?
And after these things I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth.
Right.
Holding the 4 winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree.
And where are those 4 angels standing at?
The 4 corners.
The 4 corners of the earth. See, and when we're talking about speaking Hebrew or the language that where you can even say it's like this English is broken from Brit. You know what I'm saying? That we speaking. We got people over in the land, Agda Israel, can have a conversation. But I'm not talking about these Negroes around here doing phrases. Agda can speak a whole language. They communicate with the Edomites and know and talk to them in their language as clear as we talking now. Mm-hmm. But a bunch of Negroes sitting around an apartment building and giving phrases. Y'all are mount up, boy. Yeah.
Rise, O Israel.
Rise, O Israel.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm having trouble with my native language.
You having a whole lot of trouble.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. What we say then? What it say? Yeah.
And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living Elohim. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Elohim in their foreheads.
Uh-huh.
And I heard the number of them which were sealed. And there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Uh-huh.
Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000.
So we can hold that. Y'all read down. We're going to skip down to 14, but it's going to go through each tribe telling you sealed 144,000. Now, the Jehovah's Witness started a religion off of this. They say it's only 144,000 that's going to make it in. There's no judgment day. If once you die, you just burn up in your existence, never even mentioned again. You ain't got no judgment you got to worry about. The problem is they can't name what tribe they from, and when we get into 14, it's going to identify who these people can be. Not only that, if it's 144,000, why am I knocking on your door? I'm lessening my chances. Ain't I? I'm like, I'm going to skip this block. Wasn't nobody at home. It was a dog on the porch.
I'm going to be going to no house.
What it say? Yeah, verse 13, verse 12. No, go 13, Elisha. Y'all read in between now and we're going to hit 13. Go ahead.
And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, what are these which are arrayed in white robes? And whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said unto me, These are they which came out of great tribulation.
What they come out of?
Great tribulation. And have washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of Yahweh, and serve him day and night in his temple. And he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them. They shall hunger no more.
What shall they do?
Hunger no more, neither thirst any more. Neither shall the sun light on them, nor heat. For the Lamb which is in the midst of the throne shall feed them, and he shall lead them unto the living fountains of water. And Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes.
What are he going to wipe away?
All tears from their eyes.
So there ain't going to be no time for you worrying about if my mama, my child, or my daughter didn't make it, because if he didn't wipe them tears away or wipe those memories away, then you're going to be looking for your mama. If you make it. Right. And they may be looking for you. But the tears will be wiped away, because you can't be in the kingdom. I told my mama was right. My mama went to church every Sunday.
Did you know your mama used to be little mama?
Boy, boy, look here. You had to go there, didn't you? Let's get some Revelation 14. Boy, Big Mama used to be little mama, huh? Let's read verse 1 through 5, and we're going to see what this 144,000 is, the prerequisites of them, and where they come from. Y'all, but Revelation 6 and 9 don't just limit it to the 144,000. It said, and I saw another number of nations, kindreds, and tongues which no man could number. Right. And white robes was given to them. This is just first fruit. And these first fruits only coming out of Israel. See, now this is what them camps used to be hollering about, but we understand that, but you're omitting Revelation 6 and 9, where I saw them out of all nations, kindreds, and tongues. You can't have Zechariah 14 if you only do this only for the 12 tribes. Right. Let's read some more. 14 and 1. Go ahead, y'all. We're going to close on that.
And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sinai, and with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their forehead.
Now, we have some Negroes around here saying they can get this done. If each one of us get 12 wives, and each one of us have 12 children, by the dog, we 144,000, dog, right there. I'm like, that's a whole lot of fornicating. You're going to fornicate the 144,000 into existence.
He don't need you.
Huh?
He don't need you.
And they doing what? Yeah.
He don't need you.
Man, I'm telling you, if you let these doctrines come in, they'll go left field on you so far, and they hollering, yeah, and chant the war chant. But it's not this war chant. It's Kenny G. So
you can't sing or imitate this.
Boy, look, look, I said what kind it was, didn't I? Y'all get it in your mind. See, because what it is, like I said, it's a doctrine of fornication. That's all it is. And look, the only person know the sound of that is them. It's the quabba hunter call. Quabba, quabba, quabba. Quabba, quabba. There's plenty of quabba. Go ahead. This ain't no quabba hunter call. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
And I heard a voice from heaven, as the voice of many waters, and as the voice of a great thunder. And I heard the voice of harpers, harping with their harps. And they sung as it were a new song before the throne, and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000, which were redeemed from the earth.
Where they come from?
The earth.
See, so we're drawn from the earth. It's not like they're supernatural. And these men were taken from the earth. It's like when Ezekiel thought he was Elijah thought he was the only one. He said, man, I got 7,000 men. They never bowed the knee to Baal. Paul backs it up in Romans 9. He said, as it's written in the scripture, there are 7,000 men that ain't never bowed the knee to Baal. It's people out here you would never know that they Israelites and what they got coming. Ain't got to have no fringes on or nothing. It's in here. It's in their eyes. You see it and they let you have it. When an angel came and he had on fringes, and the angel was dressed out. The fringes were long and correct. He had sandals of, wait a minute. Where we at? Go ahead, let's finish this so we get out of here. Yeah.
These are they which were not defiled with women.
So this kills the Jehovah women knocking on the door. You done already lost your spot.
Mm-hmm.
They were not defiled with women. Go ahead.
For they are virgins.
What are they?
Virgins.
Uh-huh.
These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits of unto Yahweh and to the Lamb.
Read that again.
These were the first fruits. These were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and to the Lamb.
Let's see what else is to deal with them.
And in their mouth was found no guile.
What was in their mouth?
No deceit. For they are without fault before the throne of Yahweh.
It didn't say they were without sin. It said they were without fault. What I mean, just that craftiness, that deception. Don't trust the Bible. It could be tampered with. That deception, that guile, that trickery of the tongue because you ain't studying like you supposed to. And you chasing some man you think your leader. And he's beguiling you like Satan did. Teaching you that flim-flam doctrine that don't touch. Look, right there. I don't know why is that in the law like that. So what you telling me, take it out? Or you telling me to add something else to it? But it say they were not defiled with women. So these are men folk. Because if they women folk and they say they're not defiled with women, it only can mean that, these are women that don't have a liquor license. That's about it.
No, not that.
Let's read some more.
And I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth, and to every nation, and kindred, and tongue, and people.
And people. The word still got to go out to every people. It's judgment day. Y'all finna be judged. It said they're going to judge Sodom and Gomorrah, didn't it? What tribe is Sodom and Gomorrah in? And why would they judge if the law don't apply to them? What were they put down for? What law? This way before Mount Sinai. Let's finish this up. 1 Corinthians 15, 20 through 23. Y'all will close out. What you got?
A lot of Hebrews say that we can't that the law is not for Esau and Edomites. When John rebuked King Herod for sleeping with his woman, his brother's wife.
This the problem. Doeg the Edomite protecting the priests. When David saw him, he said, I saw Doeg the Edomite over there. He gonna tell that the priest gave me that showbread and gave me Goliath's sword. He said, it was Doeg the Edomite. If that's the case, what the hell is the Edomite protecting our priests for? Do you understand our priests? These the ones that handle the law. What is he doing there and ain't no problem right there?
He only had to kill because of the woman. King Herod knew John was right, is what he was telling him.
He knew exactly what the deal was. It's the same thing, y'all, but what we're talking about. What is Doeg the Edomite doing with a sword, protecting our most holiest meat? That's the question we waiting on.
Wow.
What you got over there?
He was worthy.
He was what?
He was worthy.
Yeah, he was worthy. Or he was, look, the script say he was, listen to this. The script say he was not worthy. You know why? Because Saul hired him for trickery. Saul used him as a crutch to gain a foothold with the priest. So when you read about Doeg, that's why David was saying, he hired that old slickster up in her. Yeah, Saul did that. Because Saul was just out of his mind at this point. Saul put Doeg in there under the priest. David was screaming on. He like, got that Edomite up in there guarding the priest. He didn't say it was wrong. He said, you can't give that job title to them. This our most holy. That's like saying, give them the charge of this. But technically, they have the charge of this. In the Hebrew print factories out here. Where'd y'all get y'all last Bible from? Was it from Earl and Jenny's Hebrew Bible store? Or where'd you get it from? Who you get it from? What to be missing? Look, Junior couldn't finish his homework, so I had to tear out the back of the Bible and have him write on that. If we own it. But I'm asking, where's the Hebrew printing presses? Where you getting it from? Boy, look here. He put him in charge for a reason, but I'm just saying it was legal for what he did. It's just the fact that he went and got him to despise God.
Right.
If it wasn't so, David would have never got punished for getting that Hittite killed and sleeping with his wife. He'd have just said, you ain't supposed to be with her anyway.
Right.
What you doing up in here with that woman? That's a Hebrew woman. Hittite. But that wasn't the rules. But when Nathan came to him, Nathan gave it to David like Uriah the Hittite was an Israelite. The law applied to everybody because they're of a different nation. You can't just go to some other nation, Edomite, and steal them in the jaw. See what'll happen.
But see, the law says that if a stranger come unto you and he vows to be under your God, he should be a brother and not a stranger.
That's what it say about Eleazar too. Yeah. Abraham thought he was going to be the son that the angel brought. He said, you talking about Eleazar? No, y'all, servants. The law is about slavery and servitude. Bondage is a whole different story. All slaves are supposed to be released after 7 years. Bondage took us to a whole nother level. That's what it means when they further the affliction. You went past the cutoff time. A servant get a chance to be released after 7 years. It's called an indentured servant. I'm selling myself to you for 7 years, and then we'll renegotiate. But when bondage come in, they take all that away from you. Let's finish this last one up, y'all. Get on out of here. 1 Corinthians 15, 20 to 23. Yeah, 1 Corinthians 15, verse 20. See, so we seen 144,000, so we keeping it in order because they said, see, man, there they go, want all them Gentiles there. We don't want nothing. We don't run nothing. We don't own nothing. We trying to make sure we get that.
Right. We can't be there keeping people out who deserve to be there.
Boy, look here.
Your black ass.
Boy, look here. We offering the fruits of Cain. You talking about Joseph, his daddy. You offering the fruits of Cain. Right. And you going to be mad at the Edomite to say he's born of a virgin?
Man.
And believe like the Roman soldiers say, just say the word, Lord, I believe. He said, your daughter here when you get home. And then he looked around at Israel. I ain't seen no faith like this in Israel yet. And then, you know what they still say? Well, man, that was just a Roman soldier who had his mind to get.
That just goes to prove that just because we know we Israel don't stop them cursing.
Let's read this, y'all, and close out. Go ahead, get it, y'all. Who got it? 15, 20 to 23. Y'all flip a coin.
Or real guy.
The book of 1 Corinthians. I wasn't even going to argue with that one.
Right.
I did it like that.
Chapter 15, and we're going to start the reading. At verse 20. But now is Hamashiach risen.
I tell you what, bag it up to 16, I'm sorry, 16.
16?
Yeah, y'all can read 12 and down. We're going to hit 16 for time's sake.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 16.
Yes.
For if the dead rise not, then is not Hamashiach raised? And if Hamashiach be not raised, your faith is vain. Ye are yet in your sin.
See, so when they start watering the Messiah down, because we can't be resurrected at Judgment Day, that wipe away everything. And his flesh didn't corrupt. If he born of Joseph, he would have never resurrected. Not in 3 days, corruption would have set in. Only he could raise the dead from the sea, like he did Lazarus, who was in the grave 4 days, so he don't get mistaken as the Messiah who was in there 3 days and 3 nights. Lazarus, come out of there. Couldn't nobody else have did it? Let's read some more.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
Then they also which are fallen asleep in Hamashiach are perished. If in this life only we have hope in Hamashiach, we are of all men most miserable.
If he didn't rise, y'all, ain't no need us wasting our time down here. And that's what these double-tongued modern-day Pharisees are trying to get us to believe. Let's read some more.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
But now is Hamashiach risen from the dead, and become the first fruits of them that slept.
See, so from Adam up to the crucifixion, He became the first fruit of all them dead because they believed in him, but they never got a chance to experience it, or see him, during his birth. Job said in 1925, I know my Redeemer liveth, and in this body, I'm going to see him stand on this earth. And I'm going to see my Messiah. That's what Job said. That's who a first fruit. He offered Job up. Here's a righteous servant. Let's get some more. What else is that?
Verse 21.
Yeah.
For since by man came death, by man came also the resurrection of the dead. For as in Adam all die, even so in Hamashiach shall all be made alive. But every man in his own order.
Every man in his what?
In his own order. Hamashiach, the first fruits. Afterward, they are the saviors at his coming.
Read that again.
But every man in his own order. Hamashiach, the first fruits. Afterward, they that are Hamashiachs at his coming.
At his coming, they that are Hamashiach. That's why we read about the 144,000, Revelation 69. I know another nation, y'all. Look, if we don't get in on 144,000, and what we're talking about is practicing God, tricking people on purpose, holding debates and different things, and knowing they struggling and you won't give them the answer because it's a debate. You think this a game. You think you playing Monopoly with these scriptures. You sending people straight to jail because they don't understand. Then they trying to teach that crap. Don't trust the Bible. No, we don't trust you.
Right.
We couldn't be 144,000.
Could we be them? Got to get that guile out of our mouth and practice it before the second coming. You be redeemed from earth. Got to get that guile. And what I mean, that don't mean you won't sin. What I'm talking about is you won't trick people. And the virgin part, they were not defiled by women. So listen to this, y'all. That's why we mentioned the, hold it down, y'all. Hold down, y'all. Y'all can get that out. This is why I mentioned the 7,000 that had never been a need to bail. Because they were without, what that means is spiritual first. They have never slept with another doctrine. They never joined the Muslims. They never poured out. They're a virgin to the Most High. They're pure. Now, then it comes down to man. Like Paul was a virgin. Messiah was a virgin. Meaning they never touched a woman. Right. Y'all understand where we're going, both spiritual and physical? Let's close out.
All right, family. We're going to get this closed in prayer.
All right, hold it down till after class, y'all. We got plenty of time. Parking lot open.
We're going to get this closed in prayer. And it's with the Most High's permission. And it's in the name of his only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King. Long live the King. Reading in the book of Psalms. In the 26th chapter it reads, Judge me, O Yahweh, for I have walked in mine integrity. I have trusted also in the Most High. Therefore, I shall not slide. Examine me, O Master, and prove me. Try my reins and my heart. For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, and I have walked in thy truth. I have not sat with vain persons, neither will I go in with dissemblers. I have hated the congregation of evildoers, and will not sit with the wicked. I will wash mine hands in innocence, so will I compass thine altar, O Yahweh, that I may publish with the voice of thanksgiving, and tell of all thy wondrous works. Master, I have loved the habitation of thy house, and the place where thine honor dwelleth. Gather not my soul with sinners, nor my life with bloody men, in whose hands is mischief, and their right hand is full of bribes. But as for me, I will walk in mine integrity. Redeem me, and be merciful unto me. My foot standeth in an even place. In the congregation will I bless the Most High. Hallelujah! Say that!
Got a shepherd or two, we greatly appreciate it.
Boy, talking about them hands full of bribes. What about us reading them?
All right, y'all, look. Feast of Pentecost tomorrow. If y'all ain't got on the list, y'all need to be getting on it. If y'all can't, look, I'm just saying get on the list. We got to finish up at the store tonight. If y'all need to take care of it tomorrow or deal with it tomorrow, we'll deal with it tomorrow. But we need to know and get you on the list so we know how much food to purchase. You on the list?
What about?
Look,